Naturally occurring phenomena is electrostatics.
So the naturally occurring phenomena, i.e. the dependent variable, is electrostatics. Yeah? Everyone got that? 35 seconds later.
So what we're going to do is we're going to take an object and we're going to manipulate that independent variable of electrostatics. That independent variable of electrostatics. Naturally occurring phenomena is electrostatics. That independent variable of electrostatics.
What's a wave then?
Okay, a wave is just a type of movement. So a wave is a verb. It's not what something is.
So wind is also a verb?
So this is the mind-numbing level we're at, folks. We're down here at second grade retardville with an ass clown who doesn't know what nouns and verbs are. From Merriam-Webster, wave, noun. A disturbance or variation that transfers energy progressively from point to point in a medium that may take the form of an elastic deformation or of a variation of pressure, electric or magnetic intensity, electric potential, or temperature. You're a
dumbass!
Actually, you can't have light without electricity.
What the hell did you just say?
Actually, you can't have light without electricity. Actually, you can't have light without electricity.
Really? You ever hear of glow sticks? How about fire?
You dumbass.
Yeah, there is no speed of light.
Hence why we have things go 3 times the speed of light.
Yeah, there is no speed of light.
Hence why we have things go 3 times the speed of light.
Yeah, there is no speed of light.
You're an intellectual dumbass.
Yeah.
Or they will say things like, dark matter 100% exists. We know for a fact that dark matter has to exist, but we don't know what it is. So, how could you know it exists?
So I don't agree with people making claims about ether and exactly what it is, and even the name.
So, how could you know it exists?
You hear that, Mr. Anderson? That is the sound of inevitability.
Get lost, dummy.
And we're off. As usual, if you'd like to support this channel, there are PayPal and Patreon links in the info box below. Just shift it on over to Discord and see if the beautiful Betty Van Velsen is out there. Beautiful Betty Van Velsen, are you out there?
She's on deafen.
She's on deafen?
Yeah, maybe the conversation in Discord bored her or something. I don't know.
Well, the conversation. There was no conversation. There was the actual beginning, the startup of the show.
Yeah, I shut them up before you came on.
Did you shut? Oh, you shut them up.
Yeah, I said show starting.
Betty,
But, yeah.
this is the second time you leave me hanging on Duffin. Betty! Word.
You gotta tell her to come off mute.
Some people's kids leave me hanging out here. Second time. Let me pull Discord.
Sorry, I had myself on that mute. And I take myself off deafen and I start talking and I'm also on mute.
So you're okay now? You're not on deaf and mute?
I didn't even hear your intro. Can you do it again?
Yeah, let's go ahead and do it again.
Hmm.
You want everything from the audio?
No, just your sort of entrance.
Okay, here we go. Let's try this again. Do it right for once. And we're off. As usual, if you'd like to support this channel, there are PayPal and Patreon links in the info box below. Let's shift it on over to Discord to the beautiful Betty Van Velsen. Is the beautiful Betty Van Velsen in Discord? Betty Van Velsen.
Yes, I'm here.
That's what I did. Now we got it.
Somebody clip this out because QE can't. Yeah, I'm sorry. There were people talking in Discord. I wanted to listen to your intro, and it was suddenly very loud. And I had Yes to the Dress in the background on, and I was thinking, what is she doing with that dress? And then I got back, and I'm thinking, why don't I hear anything?
It's so ironic that you had Yes to the Dress on because the BallTARDs are going to say yes to the dress today again.
See, I knew it was appropriate.
It is appropriate. Remember how I started saying that before, but we talked about that. I don't know. It was a few months ago, and I said, yeah, BallTARDs, say yes to that flat earth dress.
Yeah, it might be a little bit flat, not curvy, right?
That's what I'm saying, boy. So, folks, we're going to pivot today. I know it wasn't false advertising. We had time bandits in queue. However, the Adam Meakin had an emergency. His mother's is feeling very ill, so Adam's not going to make it today. So we had to pivot and pivot quick. Adam, we're thinking about you. We hope your mom's okay.
Yeah, we do.
The way he was short with me, Adam's never that short, and he was very short and said, it's a good thing, too. I had to pivot late because I didn't go into Skype until late this morning. When I was doing other stuff, and you know how the day goes. And I wasn't looking anywhere, and I said, right about, I don't know, was it 11 o'clock, Mike? I don't know. It doesn't matter. It was late, and I seen his message there. I said, oh, uh-oh. I have to be a little bit flexible today. But I have flexibility and substance, so we're going to roll on.
Where's the flexibility at?
I have flexibility. The flexibility's coming because I was already scheduled to have somebody else do a presentation. I was just going to sit back, kick back, put the feet up, smoke the stogie. But now I got to be engaged.
Yeah, but you're always engaged.
You think?
Yeah, you're always on instead of like off.
That's the nicest thing you've ever said to me.
Yeah, well, it's true. I mean, there are times that I'm thinking I've lost it somewhere and I lost the plot, and you are right there to bring it back on track.
Really?
Yeah.
Look at that. That's 2 compliments. Betty, you feeling okay?
Maybe not.
Yeah.
I remember one time there was a person in, and they were talking about certain stuff about sex or whatever, something, and I already lost it. I was like, what are they talking about? And you brought it back instantly, and basically the whole thing was yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, and you were okay. It's this and no other, and we move on.
Yeah. So I granulate through all the fluff, all the hyperbole, right? And I get right down to brass tacks. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I think that you would, if you really could be partial the whole time, and I think you can, but wanted to, let me say it that way, you could be a great moderator.
I already did a moderator one time. I think it was with Shits at 40 and Brian. Right? That was pretty fair.
Yeah.
I thought so.
Yeah, you should do that more often, but yeah, where can we find debaters?
Yeah, it seems that we got some pretender clowns out there doing debates. Well, I wouldn't call.
Speaking about that, there was a debate with Witsit and somebody else about evolution, or was it?
Oh yeah, you know what? We should bring that up today, because
why not? It's maybe different audiences, different people watching, maybe.
yeah, what Betty's talking about is the other night I was just flipping through Discord, right? I didn't have too much to do, and I seen creation versus atheism, a link, right? I didn't go into it. The link sort of was weird, right? But I seen creation versus atheism, and that's right up my alley. So I clicked on it, pulled it up, and I'm sitting there waiting, and it's modern day debate. I go, oh God, it's going to be another one of these. I'm not going to make it. And it didn't have the principles on for the first, 15 to 30 seconds. I can't remember. And then boom, all of a sudden it was Shits at 40 versus some other knucklehead atheist, right? And I said, oh God, here we go. But it wasn't the typical modern day debate. And it's not a debate show, but I digress. But it wasn't your typical modern day debate setup. It was just these two guys. They were live. They were sitting at a long desk. And it just struck me as strange, but it had the modern day debate in back. And I don't think there was a moderator, come to think of it. So I said, okay, the heck with it. I'll just sit here and listen. I didn't have that much to do. And I'm listening. And these familiar sounding concepts, not only concepts, but individual citations that I have on my website with Creator versus Atheism were being spit out by none other than Shits at 40. I mean, hyper specific to what I have on my website. And it caught me off guard at first. I said, wait a second. He said George Wald? I said, no one brings up George Wald. I only do that, right? And I was listening a little bit more. And then the subject came up about nature unguided and intelligent agency guided. I said, wait a second, that's my stuff. It's right. The first pieces of the presentation of the on the website is that verbatim. I said, he's taking my stuff, man. And I texted Betty immediately and a couple other people. I said, did you see this? Are you listening to this? But anyway, Betty was more of the opinion, well, he's not as dumb as he looks. Shits at 40. And that was a pretty wise move on his part to go through that. But the really funny part was that that Shits at 40 has no depth with it, right? It's just the surface. Like, he can read off the website, but other than that, he can't connect the dots, which was hilarious to me. And then I was listening into further because I figured he'd just use the first part and then he'd go off on his own little spiel. But nope, information came up. Right? And he went right down my website with the information with the citations, just bam, 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 1, 2, 3, 4. I was like, you gotta be kidding me, man. But again, he couldn't connect the dots because the dude asked him, if I can remember this correctly, dude asked him to define information, but Shits at 40 couldn't, or no one did. I'm sitting there, what the hell is going on here? Just define information. It's really easy definition. There's not multiple definitions for this word. Right, but they couldn't, and that's it. That's how you know he can't connect the dots, right? Because the information presentation part of that is very powerful. right? I did it with the supernatural atheist, and I've done a number of information presentations that just kill the atheist, dead. But I didn't listen to all of it now. In fact, I'm going to pull that up. We might review a little bit of that today. Way to go, Betty. See, Betty's giving me substance. That's what a co-host should do.
So what is the definition of information?
The communication or reception of knowledge or intelligence.
See, there you go with the depth.
That's it. And that kills atheism right there. It's not matter. Oh, he also used my laws of thermodynamics proof. So he used my information proof with genetics. Then he skipped over quantum mechanics. And then he went to, right before I shut it off, he went to my, the laws of thermodynamics proofs. But he he couldn't connect the first law and the second law. You know what I'm saying? To come to a coherent conclusion. So right there, I said, you gotta be kidding. I know he did. Now, I didn't listen to the rest of it. So I don't know. There is no way. Now, he's not going to bring up quantum mechanics. He can't do that. Or maybe he can because he's a double-speaking douchebag. He might do it. But there's no way he's bringing up functional sequence specified complexity. I'm saying that right now. Now, I haven't listened to it. So I don't know whether he did or didn't, but he ain't bringing that one up. If he does, I won't do that. I was going to say, if he does, I'll eat my shoe. But that crayon muncher could... Go ahead.
You might munch on those.
I know. He might go ahead and do it because you can just read it right from the website, right? So, but you have to have background. You have to have substance with it. You just can't. I mean, it's put up on the site that you can read off, but to present on it is a whole nother ball game, right? You have to have a background with it. You have to have an understanding, right, to go through that.
And dazzle you with all kinds of other stuff, and you wouldn't know the trees for the forest.
Say that one more time. I didn't catch it.
You could be dazzled by some people saying certain stuff by DNA or whatever, and then be dazzled and don't see the trees for the forest.
No, your regular average numpty might be that way, but I'm not.
Yeah,
I can tell right away.
That's why I'm saying a regular person would be dazzled just by.
Oh.
That's why I gathered your stuff back in the day. I was like following you like a stalker, and I gathered your information and I remember also with the 2 debates that I did, try to put that to good use. First time failed completely. The second time better because you said stick to the scientific method, and just get back to that the whole time, And
right.
That will help me. But I mean, certain stuff, you have to have that depth and background.
You have to have depth, because if you have no depth, I'm going to compromise you, especially if you talk about those certain subjects, right? If you talk about information, you talk about genetics or biochemistry, you talk about the laws of thermodynamics, and you talk about functional sequence specified complexity, along with quantum mechanics, you better have your ducks in a row, because if you try to fluff it, I'm going to be on you like a duck on a June bug. So you're going to compromise yourself quick. So it's better to stay in the vague ambiguousness, because if you try to get specific, I'm going to know you're a pretended clown within the first 3 seconds.
Is that saying what I just said, is that wrong?
Yeah. So what did you think?
I see someone in the chat saying don't see the trees for the forest. I mean, is that wrong?
You can't see the trees through the forest.
Yeah, is that wrong?
No, that's correct.
Okay, because we have the same sort of expression in Dutch. So
you can't see the forest through the trees.
Okay, so we have a expression of. Also
Does that make sense? I'm sorry, that was backwards. I know I'm rumpusing you, but that's kind of backwards.
Yeah, so that might be the thing that was hilarious about it.
Whatever way it goes, doesn't matter. It's just a saying. It's like a cliche.
Well, we don't see the trees because of the forest, or through the forest, or whatever.
That's something. That's correct. Bible, you came and saved the day. It's I can't see the forest for the trees.
Okay, but well, we have it the other way around in Dutch. Of
Yeah,
course.
because everything's backwards, right?
Mm-hmm. In Holland, you mean?
Yeah, well, not only in Holland, you get, the sentence structure is sort of backwards to American, right?
Oh, okay.
I have never seen that thing in my life before.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went over that many times, right?
Yeah, it's funny. Today
But-
I listened to a guy that was he lives in the United States now, and he had a pretty good accent for a Dutch guy, but still you can hear the Dutch in him. It's really amazing how that works. Yeah, continue.
I was done.
Oh, you were done?
Yeah, back to now. What did you think of? Now I sent you. You didn't watch the video, did you?
No, it's something, and it was. Was it still? Was still live? I think. Wasn't it?
I don't know whether it was. I don't know. It might have been.
Yeah, the thing is that it's sometimes the intros and all that. It's so long, and then I lose interest.
Yeah, you wouldn't have lost interest on this because it's creation versus atheism.
Yeah, I usually like that.
Yeah.
But you taught me not to watch Widget.
Say that again.
You taught me not to watch Widget.
Well, why? I taught you.
Yeah,
What?
you said, oh, he's a dot and also dot and
Yeah,
don't
but
give
this
him
one.
any, time.
Yeah, but don't waste your time because you're just going to get frustrated over the doublespeak. However, this one was a special one. That's why I sent it to you because I knew it was one of your favorite topics, creation versus atheism. So I
Yes,
figured you just didn't have the time. I got it. It's not a problem. So you
It was
took.
in the middle of the night that you sent it to me. to be
That's
honest.
very true. In fact, I was surprised you even commented how quickly you comment, and then I admonished you for being up.
Yeah. You go to bed, you naughty girl.
Yeah, what are you doing up this late, young lady? Right? You like that when I do that, don't you?
That's kind of cute.
What the hell did I say exactly? I know that's what everyone's hanging on. Oh, you gave me a
No, of course they're not hanging on that.
you gave me a on Skype.
Yes, I do. See how awake I am in the middle of the night?
No, you just gave that to me. You didn't give it to me in the middle of the night. You just gave that to me a little while ago.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
All right, now wait a second. Let's go back. Okay, that's okay. I got it.
You might have to go on.
Here's what I said. What are you doing up, young lady? You're grounded.
I was, because I went to bed.
Do
my
you have
bedroom.
grounding in Holland? You know what grounding means?
Yes. Yes, well, in the sense of put it in a naughty place.
No, it's you're not allowed to leave the house.
Yes, we do that. Yeah.
You do that to
Huisarrest.
kids?
Huisarrest.
It's mostly done to kids when they're bad, right?
Yeah. Do you hear my words? Huisarrest.
House arrest.
House arrest.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. It is like that, isn't it? House arrest. If you were now, I don't know how much it affects kids today, but when I was a kid, you know, I left the house early in the morning and didn't come back till the street lights came on, right? And then if I didn't come back when the street lights come on, then I've got, ironically, grounded. Now, I could take a beating, but what I couldn't take was being grounded. I would say, don't ground, pull the belt out. I'll take my beating right now, but don't ground me, right? So, and they knew that, so they grounded me.
Of course they did. Yes, because you need to be, punishment is about correction, not about rubbing your nice feet.
Yeah, rubbing my feet, making me hot chocolate.
Yeah, popcorn, a nice movie.
Yeah, that wasn't very nice of them to do that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, to be honest, it wouldn't. That grounding thing wouldn't work with me because I was always home.
Yeah, see, it wouldn't work. And the
I
kids
think
today.
it would be the other way around. You need to go there and there. No.
Yeah, exactly.
They would send me for grocery shopping, for example. Then that would be like really a punishment for me.
You go by yourself?
If I had to go, yeah, because I hated going to do chores for my parents outside the door. I always came with the wrong stuff, home stuff, and it was like, and you need to go back and bring this back. And no.
Well, didn't they give you a list?
Yes, but they're still like, for example, my dad smoked and he had a certain brand that he needed or wanted. I didn't see that there, and I took the wrong thing. So and then it was bad. Back in the day, kids could buy that for their parents.
Yeah. Yeah.
And also, I was at a bakery and I had to get 2 loaves of bread, one brown and one white. And I had my order in, and I saw that woman, the same woman I thought, lay those loaves on the counter, and I had paid already, and I was walking away with them, and I was halfway to cross the street, and they came after me. Oh no, that's not your loaves. And then I had to go back, full bakery, right, full with people all staring at me. Stupid kid, right? And I was waiting, and then I got almost the identical brown and white loaf to get home with, right? And I'm thinking, I was like, what happened here? And I was so like embarrassed by the whole thing that I didn't want to go do these chores.
Oh,
anymore.
brother.
Yeah.
Triple X. Listen to this in chat. Betty, you see this? After the flirting, can it start? What a jerk!
Get a room.
What?
That's the next phrase.
Yeah.
That's the next phrase.
What a jerk!
Oh yeah.
You better
So
speak up.
that's it, basically.
What?
The whole chore thing. Grounded.
Talk computers. I'm not. I hate talking about computers. This is the way the show goes, dude. This is like the first time you've been here. We're not flirting. We're catching up. For God's
have something.
What is that, Flatsy?
Yeah.
Yeah, the one and only.
You late again?
No, I was. I
here
mean, I was
sitting.
like right on time. I snuck in while you were doing the intro.
Intro. Okay. We need you here because Flatsy does super chat, which, by the way, haven't been all that many the past 3 shows. My wife is getting pissed. Just to let you know. Now, Flatsy's here just for that purpose. Now, do you want her? Do you want to let her just sit here with no purpose? Huh? Speak up. Triple X, you should be the first one.
Triple X. He said a joke, he says.
Yeah, I got you.
So, you know how when you're married for long enough, and it doesn't even have to be that long, you just have to have some pretty uneventful lives, but your spouse and you will run out of like fresh news stories about each other's lives. You know, you start running out of them, if not all the way. So I know this like it's my own backstory, but you guys were talking about grounding and stuff like that. My husband, his mother was a single mother who worked, and when he was at school, he knew he was in trouble if his mother got called out of work because they're, hoodlums getting in trouble at school. And he tells me about it all the time. I've heard the story a bunch of times. But back then you could, either take the paddling or they'd call your parents. And he would take the paddling every time because he would rather get the beating instead of his mom having to get out of work to come to the school. Trouble. So men will take the beating.
I'll take the beating over the grounding. That's my position now. My parents finding out that was just a nightmare. That would lead to another beating and grounding. There wasn't a choice. But, you know, looking back on it, it didn't teach me anything. No, I knew they taught, you know what I'm saying? They taught me how to respect others, right? Especially older adults. Oh, you would. I'll tell you what. If you were around your parents back in my day, if you were around your parents and you said something disrespectful to, even if the other adult was a train wreck of a dumpster fire, if you even thought of saying something rude, look the hell out, man. It's ICU time. You guys remember that? Any older guys in here? Older folks? No?
You're the only one?
I guess I'm the only one. They don't do that anymore, though. I know I got some people that can relate to that. Hopefully.
I can relate.
There's Brian. What's up, Brian?
Guy.
Hey everyone, how are things? Yeah, just saying I can relate to it. Yeah, you have to keep your mouth shut, even though what the person said was obviously stupid. You still have to shut up.
Oh yeah, you ain't saying anything against. Yeah. You get some potatoes thrown at you, not the cooked ones either.
Yeah, and it's terrible because you knew what was just said was unbelievably thick, and you want to say you have the response, and everyone knows you have the response, but everyone knows you're not allowed to say it. You know that was, so you have to just be quiet.
Yeah. Too funny how times have changed. Okay, do you guys want me to wax philosophically about old times or what?
They have kids' phones now, that if you call that, then the police comes to take your parents away.
Yeah, oh God, dude. My parents back in the day, superimpose them on today, they'd have life sentences.
And many more of them, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it's sort of putting the horse behind the cart. Is that also a good expression?
You're putting the horse behind the cart? No. Putting the cart before the horse.
Putting the horse behind the cart if you have like the kids being the boss at home, right? Like in the sense of them being able to call a certain number, and then your parents will be sort of grounded instead of you.
Instead of you. Yeah, it's putting the cart before the horse. Yeah, we don't want to.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
You guys with the language, man.
Yeah, we don't want to go there because it'll just get all confusing.
Yeah. Let me say this. Exactly.
Brian, I don't know if you caught up. We're gonna do Time Bandits, but Adam's mom she's pretty seriously ill, so he couldn't make it. So we're gonna shift. We're gonna go ahead and do Slope-a-Dope.
Yeah, I was listening earlier, but I didn't want to join in. I heard what you said about Adam's mom. Hope she's okay. Yeah, when I saw that you had Slope-a-Dope up, I knew that there was some reason Adam couldn't be there. I kind of put two and two together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're gonna shift. Do Slope. You know what? I don't think people appreciate the utter devastation this deals to the BallTARDs. I'm telling you, this is full DEFCON 1, baby. Is it too simple?
A language game?
You think it's a language thing?
Yeah.
But it is a definition thing, isn't it? Sorry, Betty.
It hangs on definitions, yeah.
Well, yeah.
If the horizon is our reference for horizontal, then the horizon is horizontal. It's kind of that's the simplistic of it, isn't it?
Yeah, I love the simple elegance, but I don't think a lot of people aren't getting it. They think it, I don't know, maybe they think it might be too easy. I don't get it. I'm going to put it down to you guys again. See, not you guys in your Discord. I understand that you guys understand it, but I'm talking about out there in YouTube land. I'm the only one that does it. And it's like crickets afterwards. Because what can you say? I mean, there's not much to say about it. You're going to have to redefine horizon and curvature, by the way. You'll have to redefine. You can't do it because they're simple axioms. So, I don't know, Betty, but what's your take? Go ahead.
Maybe you should do it again, then maybe we'll.
Maybe I should do it every show for the next month.
Oh, good gracious.
Oh, boy.
And stop at Christmas time, huh?
Oh, that's right. I got to get the Santa. I think I still have the Santa Terminator.
Yeah.
XP Black Ice. Oh, I don't like. Why don't you like this argument? Is XP Black Ice, is he a baller? Yeah, of course you're not going to like this argument. And he says the same with you'll need a flat earth for that on Nathan's show. Yeah, of the things he says, or they say that you're going to need a flat earth for that, you're going to need a flat earth for that. They're just not saying it, right? It's got cowbell. I mean, it's full DEFCON 1, baby, for the BallTARD.
We need tubular bells instead of cowbell.
You need what?
Tubular bells.
What's the first word?
Tubular bells.
Tubular bells.
Yes. You don't know tubular bells?
No, well, I'm just trying to try to figure out what you said. So we got tubular. I guess the bells are in a. I guess you can call it. I wouldn't call it a tube.
No, I'm saying.
No.
Leave the cowbell alone. Take tubular bells.
Go ahead, Brian. Brian, do you want to translate this for me because I'm lost?
What Betty's trying to say is that we need more than cowbell. We need tubular bells. Tubular bells is a famous piece of music. What's the name of the man, Betty?
Yeah, Michael.
Yes, the music from the movie The Exorcist. Know that music? That's tubular bells.
Well,
it's just a common.
Well, Jeff, I know wind chimes are tubular bells. I know that, right? But not cowbell. Cowbells aren't tubular.
Exactly. So let me post a picture. Of course, it will be small.
Oh, brother.
Yeah, in the chat. That's a tubular bell.
Where are you at? You in BallBusters?
Yeah.
Let me switch on over. Yeah, they're like wind chimes. Everyone knows what wind chimes look like.
Yeah, but these are huge.
I know.
Yeah. So, and this is the album cover of Mike Oldfield, and this guy is amazing, and that's a great album.
Oh, so that's what that reminded you of. Okay.
No, the cowbell, it sort of needs to be over tuned by tubular bells.
You mean the overtuned? There's more substance with cowbell than tubular bells.
No, there's more substance with tubular bells. It has more sounds and then larger reach.
I don't like it. That you're trying to ruin my metaphor.
I know, but this is a better one.
But it doesn't have cowbell.
Exactly.
Jeez, oh man. You're saying the cowbells don't have the cowbell as tubular bells?
It doesn't need the cowbell no more.
That's some nonsense, man. All right. Oh, I got to change the screen. Hold up, guys. We're going to get into the presentation here 1 second. It's not going to take too long, but I got to, what I got to do. Stop streaming. Go ahead. Yeah, you can.
Yeah, I was going to say, just for people who are wondering about on Nathan's, where everyone keeps on saying you're going to need a flat Earth for that. What that is, so people understand it, is that it's Nathan and refracted curvature, mostly the two of them, pointing out the amount of times that a horizontal flat plane is needed for all these different supposed heliocentric and globe paradigm mechanisms. They need a flat plane. You need a flat plane. You need everything they do. They need a flat plane. So their starting point is always a flat plane, and that's why they're saying it. They're pointing out the amount of times they need a flat plane. Sure. There is no flat planes on a globe. That's the point.
Very, very good point. And they're just not saying it just to say it. I mean, it has tubular bells, Betty.
Yes.
See, it just doesn't have that panache, right? Now, if I say cowbell, everyone knows that cowbell is frigging cowbell.
Yeah, but I still got you to say it once.
Yeah. Just like the elevation angle argument. If you're taking an elevation angle, and it doesn't have to be to a star, it could be to anything on Earth. To get an elevation angle, you must have a horizontal plane. You know why? Because it's a prerequisite. It's in the definition. You can't have an elevation angle without a horizontal plane. It's a necessary antecedent to the, it's cowbell. Now, that's just one example. There's many examples, right? So, but I'm just giving you a prime example of how that goes. Yeah?
Nice.
Everyone got it?
We got it.
Yeah.
All right.
Does XB black eyes know, or?
I don't know.
Is he on board with us, or is he?
I can't remember. Sorry, XB Black Eyes. I'm getting old, man. Are you a flat earther? Is you ain't a flat earther?
I think he is.
Yeah, I think XB Black Eyes is a flat earther.
Is he?
Well, this is not his arguments that he likes.
He's just a wisecracker, right?
Yeah, but
or maybe he just doesn't like the whole. It's flat. They need a flat Earth for that thing.
Oh,
but it's one of those things. People just need to remember why it's being said.
Fair enough. I don't like that. He doesn't like that. You need a flat Earth for that. I don't like that he doesn't like that.
But as I said, it's like you have to remember why it's being said, the purpose of it being said. There's a very, very definite purpose for it to being said, and very obviously good reason for it. But it's like anything, when you hear something a lot of times and you don't think about what is being said, or you're not giving it enough thought, it just becomes a repetition. But if you don't give it enough thought, you don't know what the repetition is about, I suppose. I understand it. I understand why he doesn't like it, but he should give it a bit more thought before he decides he doesn't like it. He may not want to use it, but I understand.
Yeah, I got, because they do say it a lot on the show, but not that it's not true. It's probably getting overplayed. Is it what he's saying?
People hear something enough and they don't really. I think maybe it's not really after entering people's minds enough as to hang on. They need a flat plane for absolutely everything globe and heliocentric related they ever do.
Yeah,
it's a globe. They need a flat plane for everything because that's what we. In reality, we have a flat plane, and we use that for everything because that's what we have. Do you know what I mean? You can't drive a van if you own a car. If you know what I mean, you own a car, so you drive a car. It's that kind of a thing. It's about accepting. Basically, it's about the acceptance that the Earth is flat. That's really what it's about. Because a lot of people who are flat earthers actually haven't accepted that it actually is flat. They just know it's not a globe. Now, I don't mean that personally towards XP Black Eyes. I don't know about that. I can't speak like that. But there is a lot of flat earthers who don't really realize that they haven't actually accepted themselves that it's flat.
Oh, that's some deep. There's some cowbell in there, Betty.
Yeah, they haven't accepted themselves.
That's he's waxing profoundly now.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Brian, you're going to the next level, dude.
psychology, isn't it? Human psychology. It's like, and I can understand it because it's such a big thing. It's like you're realizing that you're right about something that is so monstrous that it's hard to accept it. You know, you have to accept that you were right, that the earth is the opposite from what you were told it was and thought it was and what's being taught it to be. It's the complete opposite of that. It's flat, stationary, enclosed. It's not moving, open to a vacuum and a sphere. And to accept just the flat part is hard to do. People find it hard to do because you have to accept that you were right. It's about responsibility. You taking personal responsibility and having confidence. Like with Arwen yesterday with the video, when we were saying you have to have confidence in it, right? You know what I mean? Yeah, it's like having confidence to be able to say, yeah, it is flat. I am right. Whereas people kind of know they're right, but there's that little thing where they kind of, it's scary. It's psychologically scary to accept, hang on, I am right about this. You know, that's what it is. But it's about confidence. Do you know what I mean? I just have total confidence. I have measurement. So what else do I need? I don't need anything else. I have measurement. It's measured flat. That's the end of that.
You listen to him, Betty. He's friggin', it's above your pay grade, dude.
I think he's a pastor of Flat Earth. The pastor. Yeah, the Flat Earth pastor.
Well,
sorry.
No. You can go ahead. I just want you to go ahead far enough so I can get some kiwis and take a little break and be right back. So go on, Brian.
Yeah, okay.
Get on with yourself.
Well, the thing about it is if you're told your whole life that the earth is a sphere, and you've proven, not just to other people, but to yourself most importantly, you've proven that it has to be flat. Right? Take away the enclosed, stationary, all that. If you've just work off the flat part, you have proven that it isn't a sphere. Now, you've been told your whole life that it is, but you've proven it isn't. You know. It's not that you believe. You know it's not a sphere. When you get to that point of knowing, then you go from believing, most people, not me, but most people went from believing to being skeptical to believing to then knowing. But the knowing part is scary because you have to then accept it. You must accept that you know this and then have confidence that you know this. And when you have that confidence, you sit back relaxed like Nathan. He knows. He's just confident. He's never stressed about it. He's never worried about it. Like, he doesn't feel the need to tell other people it's that. He just knows it is. You know what I mean? You won't feel the need to do street activism or tell your friends, or you just know it. And if someone wants to start telling you it's a sphere, you can prove it wrong. But the point is that accepting that you know this and accepting that you, right, out of all the billions of people in the world, it don't matter how many flat earthers there isn't really that many. You were right. And you have to remember, there's only a small portion of flat earthers who have gotten to the point of actually knowing. If you're part of that portion that have gotten to the point of actually knowing, then there's a smaller section again who've accepted it with confidence. And that's the key. When you've accepted it with confidence, that's when you've reached that kind of eureka point. But it's hard to do because you have to accept that they were all wrong and you were actually right. And that there isn't a sphere. There is no maybes, there is no, well, possibly, there's none of that. They are just wrong, you were right. It doesn't matter if 20 billion people are wrong, right? You are right on this topic. End of story. And when you get to that point and you have confidence in it, and you have confidence in what you say then, that shines through differently than trying to tell people it's a flat. And really what you're trying to do a lot of the time when people are doing that is like when people are trying to tell others that it's flat, people around them, a lot of time they're just trying to help themselves have confidence in what they know to be true. You know, it's just the truth. That's it.
Yep.
But it's going to take time before people get to the point of accepting that. So that's what it is. It's about having confidence in it and accepting, because it's scary. It means the whole world is completely different from what you were told it was. And you figured out that. Now, I'm not saying you should give yourself a pat on the back or get an ego problem about it, but you have to accept that you figure that out. Whereas you're in the tiniest minority in the world. The world is all obsessed with all these other things and all these other important topics that are important right now. But these things are important right now. In 10 years' time, there'll be some other important thing. Whereas the biggest issue of all issues is in the background. And they keep on taking the focus away from that issue. Do you understand what I mean? This is the big issue.
Damn, I could just leave you go on. I could go bake a cake.
Well, it's not called the Brian's Logic Show, so.
What do you think about his take on it, Betty?
Yeah. Well, the thing is that I understand what I'm saying, but not everybody is very articulate, and there's a sort of a language difference where we sort of have different words if you really would translate them. So the translation part is difficult, but I agree with him that it's not a belief. I know, right? It's a knowing for me. Even if they laugh at me or they call me names or they walk away or get angry, any sort of response, I'm just smiling at them and thinking, okay, this is true. And I might never accept it, but still, it's a knowing, and I don't need to prove that to anyone. For me,
Hell, is that it?
yeah. Is that enough?
See, Brian, I could went and baked a cake. See, I can't even bend over and tie my shoes with yours.
You told me to be concise.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So
yeah,
there you go.
XP Black Ice. This is what XP Black Ice said. This is a very important point. Check this out, XP Black Ice. I'm going to straighten you out right now. He says, you can measure an angle without referencing the ground. That's true, but you can't measure an elevation angle without referencing the ground. Very important point right there. Follow? Hope so. You got to get hyper-specific, brother. Or I'm going to tear you up. So don't be loose. Don't be ambiguous. Or there's going to be a price to pay. And I'm not paying it.
Sounds like a threat.
That sounded like a threat. It wasn't even a veiled threat. It was just a fucking threat.
Felt like I was shivering in my boots.
That's right. And XB knows. He'll be shivering in his boots. I'll be shivering right now, I'll bet you. Time to go get coffee, XB.
Just to add on to your point, when you are using an elevation angle, you're always referencing the Earth.
Yeah.
And when you're at sea, you're referencing mean sea level or sea level. So that is zero elevation.
He's just being flippant with the turn angle. That's all this was. It's just being flippant with it, just being ambiguous. But once you get down to a specific angle, then it's say good night time. He ain't saying anything. He didn't say anything yet. He went to get coffee.
Ooh, well, appropriate time.
All right. Do we want to slope some dopes?
Is that a good sort of phraseology?
Yeah, it is. That's remember when I came up with that? Me?
Oh God.
Oh
yes.
God, here we go.
Like you were thinking of naming this monkey, as you would say.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I came up with a lot of and I think slope dope or something came up, right? And you made it slope a dope.
Yeah. I went to Betty with the argument, and she goes, "Go." I said, Betty, I'm kind of lacking a name because I'm really good at giving things names. And I asked Betty, and she goes, well, what's the argument? And so I gave her the argument, and then she started coming up with certain names. I wish I had. If I scroll back far enough in Skype, I could get them, but I'm not going to do it. It's way far back there.
Of course you would.
Yeah, I'm not searching for those. But Betty, she started blurting out different ones. Some of them, they're pretty stupid.
Yeah, but then again, it was just to sort of stir your like creativity, right?
Yeah, it
And
was.
usually that helped. And it did help because it didn't take long for you to finally get this one.
Yeah, it didn't take long. I think we stopped talking and stopped texting, and then I went away for like 5 minutes. I said, I got it.
Yeah, exactly. So you may thank me now, officially.
Matthew Eastman says, QE, I'm here to chew bubblegum and ring cowbell, and I'm all out of bubblegum.
Oh, is that going
That's
to
a
be
good one.
remedied by anything else?
No, it was a good one. He's playing on. I've seen this. I know what you're playing on, Matthew. I just can't place it. But I heard that not too long ago in the context. We can move on. All right. Let's slope a dope. Now let's pay attention, folks. This is really easy stuff. Right? It makes sense. There's no way out. Like I said, it's DEFCON 1, baby, for the BallTARDs. I mean, this is utterly devastating. Right to the core. It's all over just with this. If you're a BallTARD and you look out and you see a horizon, it's OVER. I'll show you. See if you can follow me on this. Okay? So this is how you slope a dope. Now, number one, according to the slope-intercept formula, in Europe, this is a different phraseology. I think it's just slope of a line, if I'm not mistaken. I could be. It's something like that because Adam told me. Now, I don't know about Holland or Ireland or anywhere else, but in the States, as soon as I say slope-intercept formula, everyone that's graduated junior high school, they may not know what it is because they forgot, but they know this phrase. I'll guarantee you because everyone in junior high was taught this. Okay? Any questions up to this point? It's only the first sentence. Just let me go. So, according to slope-intercept formula, y equal mx plus b. Now, there's all kind of variations to this. It's y equal mx plus c, y equal mx plus h. Doesn't frigging matter. It's all the same thing. All right? So, according to the slope-intercept formula, the slope of a horizontal line is always 0. That means it doesn't touch the x-axis. It's straight, right? Like I said, it's the slope of it's always 0. It's akin to the BallTARD's IQ. Now, if you're unsure of this, I got a boatload of citations from Varsity Tutors. I don't think that's Louisiana Tech. That's something else. .edu. Biology, the University of Arizona. .edu, study.com. I could go on for days. I just wanted to put a few in here to make sure that everyone knows that what I'm saying is universally known as true. And everyone already knows this is universally known as true because it's just what it is. So, Varsity Tutors, horizontal lines have slope 0 since the rise is 0. From LW Tech, a horizontal line parallel to the x-axis has 0 slope. Just simple as that. Biology A.Arizona, a horizontal line has slope 0 since it does not rise vertically. It doesn't rise or fall. So y1 minus y2 equals 0. Study.com, a slope of a horizontal line is always 0. Since a 0 slope indicates that a line does not rise vertically. The slope of a horizontal line is 0. We can go on for days. Now, I put enough. I could keep going, but, I didn't want to, beat a dead horse. I just wanted to beat it enough so you get the picture. From thoughtco.com, this is formally physics about. The slope of a horizontal line is always 0. From their alma mater wiki, if a line is horizontal, the slope is 0. From Syracuse University, horizontal lines have slope of 0. This 0. So the important point about this, they're referencing horizontal lines. So where are we getting horizontal lines from? See, that's the next question. Where's the connection here to reality? Well, it's right here. From Math Open Reference, horizontal lines are derived. That is, they come directly from the horizon. So we're talking about physical reality now. Everyone with me? Horizontal, that's rhetorical, don't answer. Horizontal line is one which runs left to right across the page. This is the really important part down here. In geometry, now we're into geometry. Now this is starting to ting off that cowbell or tubular bells, whichever you prefer. So in geometry, a horizontal line is one which runs from left to right across the page. Very, very important part right now. It comes from the word horizon, in the sense that horizontal lines are parallel to the horizon. So horizontal lines have slope of 0. They are derived from, in real, actual life, horizons. We've all seen horizons before. And this is geometry, folks. We're right in the lane. Hopefully everyone's got that part. Here's the big problem, though, for the BallTARDs that are in DEFCON 1, devastation mode. From the United States Naval Academy. Curvature is the rate of change of slope. So it is the second derivative of the elevation surface. So curvature is the rate of change of slope. What's the rate of change of slope for the Earth, for the BallTARD? Anyone? That's open to the panel. It's not rhetorical. What is the rate of change of slope for the current sphere-tard?
8 inches per mile squared drop.
You got that right. It's 8 inches per mile squared. That's the rate of change of slope because it's a sphere-tard and it has curvature. It's everyone getting it now? It's connecting all the dots, crossing the I's and dotting the T's for you. Let me say this again. Curvature is the rate of change of slope. That's it, period. So conclusion, how can the horizon, which has a slope of 0, have a rate of change of slope non-zero curvature, por favor? In other words, how can you have a horizon on a sphere-tard? It's a paradox. You can't have it. By definition. By actually what they are. How they're defined. It's as simple as that. This is a paradox, folks. There ain't no getting out of this. Like I said, it's DEFCON 1 devastation, baby, for the BallTARDs. Just because this is simple doesn't mean it has no teeth. This has got bags full of teeth. This has got muskellunge teeth. If you ever open up the jaws of a muskellunge, they have really, really sharp teeth on the outer rim on their gums, but inside their mouth, there's literally thousands of them that are ready to take the place if any of those things get broken off. I mean, they're on the upper, they're on the lower, they are everywhere. This is what I'm talking, that's the teeth that this has. I hope you guys got, this is so easy. Second grader can master this in less than 3 minutes. Just understand what a horizontal line is, what a horizon is, what curvature is, it's over. Because as soon as you go out to the beach and see a horizon, there is no BallTARD after that. It's paradox. It's simple as that, folks. Listen up, baby. It's over for the BallTARDs. So I'm taking back the horizon from the BallTARDs. It's mine now. Have a nice day.
You pull a Brenda on us?
Yes, I did. How you like that? How you like me now, BallTARDs? Wait, as a BallTARD, what are you going to say to this? You can't. When I first brought this up, the whole boatload of BallTARDs, it was crickets. I'm not exaggerating either. It's crickets. And not only the first time, the second, third, fourth time. And then they started getting creative. That horizontal lines don't exist in nature. That's the best argument that I've heard. Well, it's not an argument. It's fucking doofus. But that's the best that they got against this. Yeah, that's fine. Horizontal lines, yeah, they're a man-made construct. Yeah, but the horizon isn't. That's what the argument's about. Those poor dumb bastards they don't even realize it. That's it. That's the end of the argument. I wish I had some more pomp and circumstance, baby, and some more. This don't need no fluff. It's got musculunge teeth, baby.
I see Adam Meegan in the chat.
No way.
Yeah, he's in the chat.
What the Adam? What are you? He's probably on his phone, but he's with his mom.
Mm-hmm. I hope his mom is all right.
Yeah, we hope your mom's doing okay, Adam. Stop talking about 0.009 stuff. We're talking about your mom.
Yeah, moms are important.
Yeah, are very important. Moms are. I don't know what I'd do without. I miss her. Now back to the point, though. Do we have any BallTARDs in Discord?
Not in here now.
They all leave.
I have no idea, but I don't think that they're here.
There were some BallTARDs in here at the beginning of the show.
Who are?
Yeah.
Who are those?
The Bacon, and I think there was a survey. Where's that damn surveyor at?
Yeah. Maybe it took too long for us flirting.
They're smart. They boot scooted. Then they let me go in there and see where the hell they went. Oh yeah, they're gone. When Righteous comes off deaf and mute, we're gonna ask him, where'd that surveyor go? He was talking smack in here pre-show. I didn't want to get involved. I was just waiting. Like, go ahead, keep talking. I was on mute. I said, keep talking. I'll get you on the show. Say again.
Like a cat on a mouse.
Yeah, I wanted it for the show, though. I didn't want it for pre-show because I wasn't recording it. So I just said, go.
You could record it beforehand. You could just put the record on.
I could have,
earlier.
but I don't like doing that, so I didn't record it. I thought he'd stay for the show because he sounded a little bit confident and stuff. I like that kind of party.
Yeah, you are confident.
Yeah, because I know it for a fact.
Yeah, so and they think they do too.
They think see. That's the difference. See, I don't think I know it for a fact. I know it.
Yeah, but you have your other flaws.
Do I have other? Here we go. Is this a shit sandwich?
Not yet.
Yeah, because you started off with complimenting me in the beginning. Remember the couple compliments you had? I'm not forgetting them. I'm going to rewind and record. I'm going to record. If they're already recorded, I'm going to record them separately.
See, that you want to record.
Yeah, that's it. All right. Enough of this flirting banter.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, what?
Like,
So, what? It's over. But just with this argument, if you see a horizon out there, folks, anywhere, there is no BallTARD.
So, what is that horizon thing based on? Is it just on maybe people drawing stuff?
Horizontal lines are based on the horizon.
Yeah, but because when you are like drawing and you need a horizon, you draw a straight line in the background to get yourself a horizon on a piece of paper. Are they referring to that? Because yeah, you know how they can get these two concepts like.
Who's referring to what? You're gonna have to identify these monkeys.
Well, I mean, to whom is the audience? Who is the audience to which these definitions are written to? Surveyors or people that draw?
I don't think so. I think they're just general axioms.
Okay. So
I
they
don't think.
apply to every situation.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, there is no. Yes, you got it. Yep.
Okay.
I couldn't have said that better myself.
Well, just to sort of get that out of the way, because you know how they are, right? Oh no, it's just used for art and stuff.
No, did I bring up an art citation?
Well, that could be, right?
It could be.
That was my question. If it was an art citation.
No, it could be. Yeah, I'm sure it's used in art. It's used in a lot of different, but basically it's just geometry.
Yeah, good.
I like this one. I really, I like the really simple ones.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do. Yes.
You not oversimplify, you overcomplicate most of the things.
I don't. Did you say I overcomplicate stuff?
Yeah, yes.
That's some bullshit. I'm the anti of that.
I mean, who comes up with a modern tolerance and stuff while you can see the horizon and
that's not an That's not overcomplication. That's just basic logic.
For me, it is. For me, it is. It's just how I see the things in the world.
Oh, brother.
No, sister. Thank you.
It's just purely your subjective opinion. That's redundant, by the way.
I'm redundant?
No, subjective opinion is redundant because all opinions are subjective by their nature.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I agree.
No, I didn't insult you. I don't usually do that. Huh. So, any flat earthers?
When you call me a numpty, that's not an insult, huh?
Yeah, but it's just normal. My normal vernacular. It means nothing.
I called you a co-numpty once.
Yeah, you did. You cracked me up. I was in the airport, and she called me a mask-wearing co-numpty.
That's great. I never thought that you would agree doing that.
I'll tell you what. I sort of laughed my ass off when you said that, though.
Yeah, it was kind of cool.
Yeah, it was. We can move on from that. Let's get to the argument. Flat earthers, what do you think about this, man? This is killer. I know why. I know why flat earthers don't like this. Because it ends the friggin' debate. Not that there was a debate, but it ends it quick. See, Brian's not going to like this argument because Brian, he likes to friggin' argue.
No, in fairness now, I just like to complicate things. but I'm totally fine with completely ending it. I'm totally fine with that. I like to. What do I like to do? I think it's more entertain myself, as I'm doing. Sometimes.
I got you. I'm tracking. That was kind of short, Brian. I started trying to finish off the rest of those kiwis, but you stopped.
Well, I can tell. Yeah, I suppose you're relying on me not stopping short.
Exactly.
So, I keep it going. Yeah, I like to get a lot of information about a topic, and I like to pull someone on their claims rather than make a big claim. Although sometimes I will just make a big claim, but if I make a big claim, it's like a way of fishing. Sometimes it's a way of just fishing, trying to bring people in, and then because I know how I'm going to finish them off.
Whoa! Finish him off.
Yeah, he brings them in. He's luring them in, like putting lights, like the one fishing pond we got.
Mm-hmm.
He turns the underneath water lights on, and fish are attracted to the lights. And then when the fish get close, then he throws a stick of dynamite in
there. Yeah.
Yeah. See, Betty, I got it.
Yeah. Exactly.
Very violent.
Because to continue, I do a lot of I don't debate people. I don't do that anymore since the end of since the start of 2022 without being paid. I won't do it. So, but mostly I always like to debate via comment on YouTube, comment sections on YouTube. I always like that. So I end up bringing someone around in a circle and then back to my original statement. When they, you know what I mean? I do that. I kind of do bring people around in a circle. I do complicate things. And sometimes I'm just testing out someone else's knowledge. Do you know, kind of way? Because a lot of time, I have to say, who we're dealing with, our opposition, most of them, right, they don't have the knowledge that they allude to. What I mean by that is they can dazzle somebody who doesn't know any better and give them the impression that they are some class of an expert when they're not an expert. They just are able to throw out a lot of phrases and terms, but look past key points in what they should have learned. You know, they can throw out all kinds of stuff about what happens after an elevation angle is measured. You know what I mean? But that also, if they're even going to address the elevation angle, they're going to start with a tangent plane and ignore the dip correction part. All these kind of things are kind of, they're kind of looked past by them, and as someone who doesn't know any better, doesn't have to be celestial navigation, take any topic, and they will give the impression to somebody who doesn't know any better that they are a source of knowledge or an authority when they are not. I don't know how many of them, and up to right now today, there are so many of our opposing side that never actually proved that they had the credentials they had, with the exception of a few. Like Dr. Bob Townsend, he is a doctor, right? There's no ifs, buts, or maybes. He's a doctor, right? But there's been surveyors on that side, with the exception of maybe Jesse Kozlowski, who couldn't really produce anything to prove that they were a surveyor or that they had degrees in this or that or the other thing. Over time, it's been shown that most of them were just pretending. And that's the thing. And I like to pull apart their narratives. I like to do that. I like to make things complicated and learn about something to the point where I can take someone who I know is literally BSing people, and people are kind of carrying down to their supposed authority on a subject that I know they don't have, and I like to come for them people. That's the people I like to come for, because I don't like pretenders. I don't like false people, and I like to show the public up. And I even do this randomly on videos that have nothing to do, that aren't connected to flat Earth debates and our arena here. They're more the wider arena of flat Earth or supposed science. And I like to do that now and again. Just leave someone a comment, because I can see that this person, you just know, you have a sixth sense. You just know this person's not the real deal. And how you know is how they've worded their comment. You know they're not the real deal. Or so what they've said, you just know they're not the real deal. They're trying to overcomplicate it and to give the impression that they're an authority when they're not. They're just pretenders. So, and I like to make them people run, because they are the people that are the biggest problem in the world, because they're the people that are promoting falsehoods and giving the impression that they know, even something simple as they know what science is when they don't. So these are the people I like to go after online. And I do a lot of this without even talking about it. I don't bring up the topic.
So, Brian, are you a sort of a keyboard warrior then? So coming for people in chats?
I suppose, I don't know, I'm not a warrior, because a keyboard warrior is someone who does a lot of big talking and doesn't back it up. Do you know what I mean? That's more of a keyboard warrior. I'm not a keyboard warrior. What I will do is I will grab somebody on a comment they make to someone else. And I like it when I come across somebody who's obviously wrong, and I know they're wrong, but they are giving, and when I know that they know that they're not correct, yet they're still trying to promote themselves as being an authority, or that they know they're not an authority, but they're trying to promote themselves as. I like to come after those people, because I like to show them up for what they are.
People that are Globers, they think they are already the authority.
Well, yeah, like you go back, Betty, you're here longer than anyone, right? That I'm aware of. Anyone in this chat here that I'm aware of. You're around since 2014. And the minute I got into the next year in 2015, the minute you come into this topic, you're given the impression that that these people are the authority. Yep. And as soon as you question, and that was one thing I did straight away, is I started questioning their authority. And they couldn't produce the evidence. They couldn't produce the information they needed. Yep. And they couldn't produce the evidence that they were this authority. Yeah. But a lot of people don't do that. Sorry.
Science. They say science, and then they think they're done.
Well, yeah, it's like science proves a globe. If there was ever a statement that shows you don't know what science is, natural science is, and ever a statement that you're in a category error, that was it. But that was used so much for so many years. For the first few years, until QE came into the topic, that was used. So when QE came in, he straightened that out. But the problem is that was used. Sorry.
Yeah. QE is a showstopper.
Well, he doesn't like pretenders either. Do you know what I mean? He doesn't like pretenders. He doesn't like people pretending. I don't pretend to be things I'm not. I can confidently say I'm a subject matter expert in the flat versus globe arena. In that topic, I'm a subject matter expert. I can't say I'm a subject matter expert on engines, because I'm not. I'm not going to pretend to know something I'm not. I'm not going to get some tertiary knowledge, make it sound good in a comment, and make myself out to be something I'm not. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to comment at all, unless what I have to say is valid. I'm not going to do it. But there's people out there, and their whole life, all they're doing is trying to use whatever nonsense bit of academia they have behind them, or education they have behind them, to impress people who don't have that education. When their education, like Rumpus, when their education is actually nothing. I remember Adam pulled Rumpus on it. Yeah, exactly. Adam, I don't know if you remember, basically, but Adam pulled Rumpus on it one day on Nathan's. And it took, Adam didn't say anything for years, and he was listening to Rumpus, and eventually Adam just pulled him on it. And pointed out that Adam had more education than Rumpus, and he knew more than Rumpus, and Rumpus was a nobody. And Rumpus couldn't disagree. That's what was funny about it. Because Adam does have more education. You know, he is more educated. And he does know more about biology. He's a chemist. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's like, that's what, whereas there's somebody, like there's that Adam. Adam never feels the need to use the fact that he's a pharmacist. He never feels the need to use that as some kind of a crutch. But ballers are out there trying to pretend they're surveyors and pilots and biologists and you name it, and they're constantly at it. It's like you're not. You're pretending to be something you're not. It's fraudulent. It's fake. You're plastic. You know, there's too much plastic in the world being listened to. That's the problem we have, isn't it?
Yep. True. So, but you are usually in chats. Not? Are you also on Discord, or do you go to certain Discord platforms to also debate?
No, I don't like Discord. The reason I don't like Discord is it's not really mainstream. You could go into Discord and you could debate someone. Excuse me. You could debate someone on Discord, have a brilliant debate. 20 people hears it, and that's it. And even if it's recorded, the only people that even know about the recording are people connected to that server, which might be only 60 people. Do you know what I mean? Or you're on Discord and you're commenting to someone and they're commenting back, but the general public never get to read any of this. It's only read by those who are on the server. So if you have 1,000 people on your server, well, I don't know how many people, I don't know what a big server is, but 1,000 is a good few people, let's just say. If you have 1,000 people on your server, then only that 1,000 people is likely to see that. And how many of that 1,000 are likely to see it? It's like, whereas when that is out in public, it's not as ignorable. Which is why I won't debate again unless I'm getting paid for it.
But there
paid
is
handsomely.
Platforms that do stream to YouTube, for example.
There is, but who knows about them?
Well,
no, see, that's not only. Sorry, go on. Sorry.
You could basically sort of also point people to those platforms, right? When you're debating. So
you could, but
you basically scour the internet to get flat or globers talking about flat. I don't know. How do you find your people to debate?
Well, see, but that's the thing about it. Who are you debating? This is the point. This is why I have to be paid now to debate. My fee is €5,000 for a 2-hour debate, €3,000 for a 1-hour debate. And you just get a debate, no special frills. I'm not going to do handstands. It's a straight out debate. I'm not going to be doing a presentation beforehand. I don't want to hear your presentation. It's a debate. Let's go, right? Because you end up debating people who are just going to bring you around in a circle and waste your time. If the debate I want is on a podium, right, in a university where the faculty and students are there, and I'm debating someone who's a professor at that university. That is worth doing, because then you're getting your points out there, right? Then that is worth doing, because that's someone of note. That person can't just tell a straight out lie. They know they can't. They're in a sorry?
Good luck finding those people. They don't want to debate anybody.
But the thing about it is that if we keep debating, let's just say, the Phil Bells and the randomers on our opposing side here, if we keep debating them people who, like Phil Bell, who has some kind of education, or some randomer who we don't really know, you know what I mean, on the other side, somebody on the other side, you'll keep going around in that circle. It'll never change. Whereas I won't debate in there unless I'm paid for it. I won't debate in there. But I will go to a university and debate a professor of that university. Right? And the only chance of me or anyone like me getting to that point is by stepping out of the arena we're in. Because that arena is just a big swirl. You're brought around the circle forever. Whereas if you step out of that arena, then you have a chance. You put a price on your head, right, on your debate, right? I have a price on my debate. If someone wants to debate me and take my time is worth €5,000 for 2 hours, €3,000 for 1 hour. That's my time that you're getting, right? I'm not going to be. Sorry?
Do you have any takers?
No, I'm not going to have. But that's because who would pay that money? A university would pay that money. That's the kind of people who would pay that money. You have to put yourself in a position, Betty, where you know your importance. That's about it. It's not about ego, unless it's that you have to know your importance, because I guarantee you that some speaker on some other topic who comes to a university, they don't go there for free, right? And they don't waste their time talking and going around in circles arguing with randomers online. Someone of note, right, who's a subject matter expert. Right, I can confidently say I am a subject matter expert in this topic. And the universities won't be able to ignore us forever. It's bit by bit by bit. They won't be able to ignore us forever. And I'm trying to set a standard. That's what I'm trying to do. Even if no university ever has me on their podium, right, I'm setting the standard. That's the whole point of it. And others like me who are doing it. Because the whole point is that if we keep wasting our time going around in circles with people online who just want to waste your time. Like, when it gets to the point where they're wrong and they have to concede, they don't do it. They want a red herring, change the topic, insult you, whatever. What is the point? You can have a debate with someone in this arena and it means absolutely nothing because someone else is having the same exact debate the next day, and maybe even with the same person on the same topics, and that they were proven wrong about, they won't address. It's what is the point? What is the point? You're not going to go anywhere there.
Yeah.
So that's why, yeah.
Something they were already proven wrong about 5,000 times. They've respawned and now bring it back up again. Like Roofy 2015 arguments. I mean, this guy's an abject retard. And Brian's right. I stopped doing it with the average skank and file BallTARDs long ago. Long ago. I just stopped them.
We identified the skank and file BallTARDs. Right?
I would say,
but there are others out there that might not know.
Yeah, like if there's any new ones, then I'll go into it. But the ships disappearing over the horizon, I'm out of that. Yeah.
It's a self-esteem thing. Sorry.
Say again, Betty.
You BallTARD for advanced.
Yeah, it's like he was saying, the Phil Bells, the Roofies. Just anyone that I've had interactions with in the past, and usually tens of times and multiples of tens of times, I just don't I just shut them down. I don't play anymore with them.
Yeah, but how do you find new meat?
Well, you got to go like Brian said. Remember, that's not the first time you heard of cash with debates. You heard that many, many years ago. Who'd you hear that from?
You. Yeah, but then again, people like the fun of it, the fun of seeing you debate, right? And but there's never a platform that has the right sort of setup that you could agree with.
No,
Because
there are
even modern day debate, they don't have like
no.
unbiased moderators, for example, or
That's the
do
least of their.
moderate.
I'm sorry for interrupting you. That's the least of their problems. That's not a debating platform. That's a super chat gathering platform from the questions after the train wreck. Speaking, no super chats. This is 3 or 4 days in a row, by the way, just to throw that out there for you. Is Flatsy still even here?
Yeah.
Did she fall asleep?
She's a winner. She's here.
Oh, I'm not asleep.
Shockingly. Yeah, but that's you get people. It's a basis assertion fallacy free for all, because like Brian said, you get people to come on and they start with their presentation. It's like a 10 to 15 minute introduction in their presentation full of baseless assertion fallacy after baseless assertion fallacy. And then the second party or the second group gets their 10 to 15 minutes, right, of baseless assertion, not supporting anything. There is zero support for anything.
You know what I hate about the debates nowadays is the intros. The so long intros with all kinds of stuff that people did, and I'm thinking, yeah, but it's about the arguments. Come on, get to them, right?
Make a claim, and so, remember, I
Yeah.
told you we went over
I
this.
don't care what the guy or who he is or where he comes from. If he has good arguments and can support it, right? Then bring him. But
What did I tell you about the debating?
Credentials and all that. They wanted to know your credentials every time. I remember.
What did I tell you about how a debate should go? Remember, I fixed up
Claim,
a fixed up a format, right? Yeah, claim, support, and go to exhaustion. So you make a claim, then you support it, and then the other person in the debate tries to debunk that, and you go back and forth till exhaustion. 1 point at a time. No red herring fallacies, not going off on different incoherent what are perceived connections that are not. So, and you go to exhaustion till you must have resolution. And then once that's resolved, you go to the next point.
You know, I just remembered that you had a great fallacy presentation back in the day. Maybe you could bring that up again, because that's also a good one, because they use those fallacies every time to just get you off your game, right?
Yeah. You want to do? See, I was searching for ideas for this Saturday for BALLBUSTERS.
Yeah.
Huh.
This could be a good one.
Go over to fallacy. Go ahead, Brian.
No, you say your thing, and I say it then.
I was thinking about well, she just brought up a good point, because I've been thinking, because I already did refraction. I was waiting a long time to do that one. I did that one, and I was thinking, well, we have a BALLBUSTERS Saturday. What could I do? And we haven't went over that fallacy presentation in a long time.
Yeah, and there might be new ones maybe for the latest of the latest.
I don't think so. It's the same fallacies used over and over and over again. I mean, there's the common ones.
Yeah, but I mean, with different examples, like maybe the ones that they use on the sextant, or like other like.
I haven't been keeping track on all the fallacies they use, so I didn't.
You need to do that.
Huh?
Yeah, you need to do that.
Well, I only got a couple days.
Yeah, I understand that, but you had to have done that in the past already.
Yeah, I have done that in the past, but I haven't written them down, Betty.
Yeah, you are slacking, sir. Do over.
Why shouldn't I slack?
Because you are the king of flat Earth.
The king. Listen to you. That's gonna get people's friggin' panties in a bunch.
Superchat.
Hey, the friggin' Flatsy!
She's out.
Superchat.
That's weak.
She's out of practice.
Kind of. Marty Boss. Thanks for the presentation. Lots of great shows recently. All right.
Well, thank you, Marty Boss. Thanks for breaking the silence, man. Dude, if you were here, I'd decorate you myself.
And a kiss from your wife.
I wouldn't go that far.
Oh, sorry.
Hey, Brian, look at
Yes?
look at YouTube, the active YouTube. We got a special one for you. On
I have to. I can't. I'm on my phone. I can't. If I go in, I'll have to hang up here.
Oh, I got you. Well,
I have no computer at the moment.
can somebody snapshot for him and show him what it is?
What is?
We got on the slideshow. We got one of his slides up.
Ooh.
Oh, very good.
You see it already? Oh.
Well,
Someone could throw it into the BALLBUSTERS.
It's gone now. Boy,
Was that the one with the moon over Cyan?
Yeah, at night and the sun.
Yeah, I thought so.
We bet he put them together.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
No, because it says it all, doesn't it? You know, simple things say it all. You know, picture paints 1,000 words and all that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Could I just clarify something with Betty? Just so Betty, and this is for anyone. I don't, not you, QE. Just for anyone else who is listening. When I say that, talk about the podium in the university, right? I'm not hunting that. The whole point is that when Betty, you said a few minutes ago when QE said that he charges now for debates because he doesn't do that anymore, and you said to him, you said, but how do you find debates now? But the whole point is he doesn't look for debates. The whole point is that I'm trying to put myself, and QE's doing the same thing, obviously. I'm not saying he's doing the same thing because I'm doing it. I just mean, can I speak for me? But I understand QE's doing the same thing. Nathan's doing the same thing. Whatever. Right. Mitchell, 10th man. The whole point is that you're putting yourself in a position where the university must eventually find you, not the other way around. Because flat earthers did the wrong thing chasing universities for too long. And that only gives power to people and professors at universities. Oh, I'm not saying have no education or know nothing. I wouldn't say that. But it's giving a university power as a place of, what's the word? A place of authority. And in some subjects, yes, of course they are. Engineering and different things, right, with the exception of a small few things within engineering. You know, things like that, yeah, of course. Certain things within physics, yeah, they're an absolute authority. I could never even attempt to stand on a podium and debate some of those people because I don't know the topic. But in this arena, when it comes to this topic, the whole point is that I know that I'm a subject matter expert. So I must view myself as just as important as any professor who is at any of these universities. Because I know this topic inside out, as well as it can be known. And I'll continue to know it better and better and better. So I'm putting myself in a position, and QE is putting himself in a position. And just so you know, he charges more than me because he can do that. You know, I can't charge what he charges because he has information I don't have, because he has an education I don't have. So I can't charge what he charges, but I still charge. But the point is that they have to come looking for us now, not the other way around. You know, there's only so much you can beg at someone's door. You know what I mean? And they've had it easy with us, flat earthers begging at their door. We don't need to beg at their door. We just need to show them to be wrong. And then they have to. Eventually, they have to address us. Might take a few years, but they have to address us. Yeah. They have to address us eventually. There's no avoiding it. And if it's not us directly, they'll be addressing somebody else who will be taking the information that we speak about. They have to address the topic, and then the whole point, if you're going around looking for debates off of the people in this arena and looking for people to debate, it's not going anywhere. You have to have them come looking for you. So when they come, I'm not looking to be on a podium in a university. They have to look for me to be there.
Running towards us to know something. I mean, not even.
Well, that's.
I had an interaction, and I think we said that a lot of times with a Dutch scientist who's also very known in universities in America.
Walter Lewin.
Yeah, so he he doesn't want to go there because he knows that his career will be at an end and his pension with it, right? It will be evaporated. So they will not come. They will never come from the universities. They are sitting there. They are being protected by funds, by, well, we know the powers that ought not be. And there will be no change. But I think there's lots of people. Today I spoke to a new person at work. There was a new person introduced. And I talked to her, the woman, and she is now also like looking into the moon landings, for example. That's just the beginning of some things, right? And I'm thinking, there's so many people waking up, and that's why we need to let our voices be heard. Don't shut up about it and let us be sought at. Now we need to still go at it and get people to basically to the truth.
Yeah, but that's the point. That's sorry.
And I agree. It doesn't have debating is not the way that we get people to go about a different idea or belief, because it's just the audience. And I think that you said it, QE, best when you said that I'm not doing this for the person that I'm debating because I know that will never happen. But it's about the audience, because you always said bring your family, bring your friends, bring everybody that you can to the debate, right?
Yeah.
And it's about the audience. They need to know that there is stupidness going on.
Yeah. Yep, that was part of my.
And as long as we are doing that and spreading it, there's always going to be new people coming into our arena, right? That's it.
But Betty, what my point being is that we've got to set a standard, and that standard is moving away from the arena we're in and putting ourselves in a position where we have information and that we are an authority on something that eventually the universities can't ignore. I'm not going to try and destroy someone's career if I get to debate them on a podium, because I know that person's in a position under pressures I'm not under. I'm not under those pressures when I'm on that stage. I'm not under those pressures. I have an easier job because I don't have to, for a start, I don't have to support something that isn't real to globe. And secondly, I don't have a career that's built around these things. Right, so I'm not looking to destroy someone's career, but I'm going to have an honest debate no matter what. They're going to get straight truth out of me, as I say, as I can prove it. So the point is that the momentum is there already. There's already momentum, as you just said yourself. People are waking up in ways that you never thought they would. Yeah, they are, and that's why those people will be knocking on the doors of the university asking, how come you're not addressing these people over here or this person over here? How come you're not addressing quantum eraser?
Yeah.
Eventually, they have to address QE, and QE can say, I'm not interested, goodbye. That's his choice, and that's fine. And I don't understand why QE would say that to them. But the point is that if we keep chasing them, they never have to worry about us. What they worry about, and is they know what they have to worry about, is that when we stop chasing them, we stop chasing the mainstream, we stop chasing these universities, and we build up so much momentum that they can't ignore us. And that's the point. Like, they can address David Weiss tomorrow, and it means nothing to them because they know he's easy to address. Go on, sorry.
They're still being shadow banned. There's no people running after us to go to us and ask us for anything.
Yeah, but Betty, if you keep on trying to ring someone up, they don't have to worry about they never have to wonder whether you're interested in talking to them or not. They know you're always trying to talk to them. But when you stop ringing them, that's when they start asking questions.
I agree with you, Ryan, in some ways, because I liked what Robert Bazana did, for example, back in the day when these people from NASA were still available to be called, because they thought that these dumb people they can still sort of give answers that they and it's stupid questions, right? But when the difficult questions came, they shut up and they retreated in their fortifications with the special like security of funds and university rules and regulations and that sort of stuff. I mean, I think that us being out here and having an audience and also other people having an audience on their platforms of YouTube or other places where they speak about this, that's doing the job, you know?
But I'm not saying don't do that. I'm not saying don't have your shows. I'm not saying don't do that. I'm just saying I think it was Einstein said it. If you keep doing the same thing and expecting a different outcome, it's the definition of madness. I think that was Einstein that said that. It's like we keep going around in the same circles and expecting things to change. They won't. Like the shows are good, but all these nonsense debates that goes on between flat and globe, it's going nowhere. Because all that's ever happens is you're brought around in a circle. Because that's what they do. And all they do is wear out the flat earthers. Now, there's silly, stupid flat earthers out there too, making bad arguments, etc., blah, blah, blah. But the point is that every flat earther thinks they have to be a debater. They don't have to be a debater, and every flat earther doesn't have to be a debater. It's about learning the information, understanding the information, and being able to relay the information. It's not always about beating someone in a debate. Or not being beaten in a debate. It's total, like shows like this. I know Nathan's is an open door for anyone to come in and debate. But the point is that, and there's other shows out there. I know Flatside does a lot of debating, but he's building his channel and doing what he's doing. It's a YouTube thing with Flatside. Otherwise, he wouldn't be so interested in debating. I know he wouldn't. He'd be more interested in just researching and having shows. But the point is that you have to have self-confidence and assurance. I am confident that I am a subject matter expert in this arena, and I demand the respect that a subject matter expert demands. And if I don't set that standard, right, well, if I don't at least set that standard, then that standard won't exist. And flat earthers will keep on arguing with people in this arena and it all going nowhere. I have to set that standard. So I get the respect that some professor at a university gets who thinks gravity is a force. Do you know what I mean? If that person is going to get respect at the university and he thinks gravity is a force, he doesn't even know that there's more than one gravity, he doesn't even know what the thing is, then I deserve the same, at least the same amount of respect. I'm sorry. No, I don't mean that to you, but do you know what I mean? I do. I have to value myself and have confidence. Otherwise, no one else is going to have confidence in me.
So, what do you think, Kiwi?
What was my position on that again?
No, I want you to know. I want you to say what you think about the universities running to you.
Hey,
for
I'm not trying to divert, but I remember one time somebody brought up a subject, and I said, Betty says, so what do you think about that, QE? And I said, what was my position on that again? And you friggin' died.
Yes.
That's what it reminds me of. So you want my take on what Brian? I agree with what Brian said. I stopped chasing him because there's no.
No, you don't. You go to politics server and going at it.
No, I don't.
Sort of
No, that is a low-level 2015 booger-eating schmuck politics server that I recently got banned from. So I don't go there anymore.
Yeah, but you did.
Yeah, but I wasn't searching out academics. There are no academics in there.
I understand. So you went to the rank and file like BallTARD.
I did because I needed to waste some time between football games and stuff.
You see, they're like a mouse playing with a toy.
Yeah, it's stupid 2015 arguments like they're both there's some blockage there. I had enough when I first came out here with that stuff.
But there's always new people that don't know this, huh?
Yeah, that's why I have a show and a channel that's got playlists till the cows come home, and they all got
Yeah,
cowbell.
but we need to promote the channel. Like people, audience, please like the show so that it comes higher up in the YouTube channel thing. That sort of stuff. But also, if you shut up about it and just think, okay, people will come to us, like out of nowhere when we are still being shadow banned and whatever and ridiculed. Nobody's going to come to us like not doing anything. I think that Adam, for example, did a lot of activism, right, just to get people to know about this topic. I think that's still a good thing to do, right?
Yeah, I don't. There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, but that's just not what I do.
Yeah, but there's still people to sort of. And what is a debate? Is a debate also meeting people in workplaces or whatever, and speaking about the topic and then defending the thing,
Yeah, and the ridiculous part about that, Betty, is that if you look at it, take a step back, to use the term debate is a misnomer in this genre because there is no debating the nature of our reality.
Yeah. But they don't know that. Yeah.
You see how it's a little silly when you look at it that way?
Yeah, sure.
Now, there could be discussions, about gravity and this and that, but what you're standing on is not debatable. It's not a debate.
Recently I told some guy that there's no science on the shape of the Earth. You can't have science on the shape of the Earth. He looked at me like I had like 3 heads.
Yeah, because they're brainwashed into think because they people don't know what science is, and now people don't know what natural science is. Follow? Well, we've known that for years. That's the problem. That's one of the biggest problems. So that was my biggest push, obviously. It seemed to work. You still get people talking. Now, if you go to the politics server for 2015 guy, they still think it's science. I was on there for 3 weeks, and all we did was, can you please provide one shred of scientific evidence for your BallTARD? And after, I had to boil it down. I had to, please provide scientific evidence for your globe. I couldn't say BallTARD because that would get off on, oh, you hurt my feel. What's a BallTARD? That shit like that. So I had to bust it down and make it reasonable.
Yeah, you need to go back to the basics and not sort of prematurely embarrass them.
Yeah, well, that's Betty. For 3 weeks, people in that same that was in there listening to the responses would hear my response. Oh, if you talk to Flatsy, she's going to throw up over it because I did it. It's in the high hundreds of times with the simple thing. As soon as I ask that question, the next thing that comes out of their mouth, and we've talked about this before, is that is a malformed question, QE. You cannot have me provide scientific evidence for a subject area that is not science. So if they don't if that's not their first words out of their mouth, they're guilty of being pretender clown frauds. And I did that for weeks, every day.
If these people are like brainwashed, I didn't know that.
I know, but Betty, I'm saying that the people that were in there listening to my responses day after day, they would be challenged with the same thing, and they would say that wasn't the first thing that comes out of their mouth, so I tear a strip off them. Again, with the same comeback. Over and over and over again, Betty. See, that's
But answer me this thing then. I mean, if you were out in the world basically, and you meet someone, and there is some conversation going, and it's sometimes, what do you do in a sort of a as a hobby? And you say, I debate people about the globe. Do you do that?
No.
Why not?
They don't need to know that.
Why not? Are you embarrassed?
No.
So there you go. Yeah.
I'm not embarrassed. The other day, I just hold back because I find that people, they take these arguments, the arguments that they're parroting or the knowledge that they have, and they subsume them into their personal being. So they get emotionally attached,
There
right?
you go.
And as soon
There
as
you go.
yeah, and as soon as you challenge that thing, people react in weird ways, man.
Yes. So it's not
Yeah.
even. So what were you talking about? These are convictions that are so deep.
Yep.
So when you sort of try to expose that people have been deceived their freaking whole lives,
Yep.
right? It brings them to a point where you basically pull the rug out underneath them, right? There's nothing there anymore, right? The foundation is like in shambles, right?
Yeah.
People
So
can't
guess what
handle that.
happened?
They can't handle the truth. That's like Jack Nicholson says, right, in that movie. You
Yeah.
can't handle the truth, and that's really true. And that's how they try to manipulate these people when these kids when they're young, right? In every like classroom is a globe, and they build it up from scratch, from basically from the get go. And it takes a special kind of people, and I think it's in the Bible that only when you're humble, right, and able to just see your flaws and know that you're like, well, fallible, basically, that's when you can. So all the people that are flat earthers can sort of see that they were at one point at least open enough that they were deceived and that they were wrong about thinking it, right? And this is a deeper thing than just science and just saying arguments and claims and whatever. You can debate the freaking hell out of it, right? But the people will not come to the truth unless they change their character or want to be changed in that
Yeah.
character.
Yeah, you're right. And you know what? Your
And
question.
I understand. I just put you to the test because we all want to have friends and family and not want to have a big like blow up because
Yes.
of these things.
Yes.
Because we do want to have a life, right?
Yes. Yes. Well, it brings it. That's funny you mentioned something sort of like that. So I went out. Remember, I went out with a good friend of mine, a couple of good friends of mine, and we went shooting 3D targets up at the fort a few days ago. And so we're done, and they not only have a 3D range, it's a trail you walk through the woods and shoot 3D targets, but it ends up back at the target range. And we come back to the target range, and there was people there shooting their crossbows, and they were trying to shoot the targets. So we're standing there. We took a little break, and then I started shooting. I was trying something new, and we had come over. I couldn't go get my arrows down the range, so we all gathered up at the spot where everyone was shooting. But those two friends that were with me, they know that I'm a flat earther. Right?
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah,
I know, they will put you on the spot. Yeah.
They already know. So we're sitting there, and there's two people shooting the crossbows, and one of the one's getting ready to shoot, and the other guy, he is a lieutenant colonel. The other guy, they're in uniform and stuff. One's a lieutenant colonel, one's a sergeant first class. No, it's irrelevant. It doesn't matter. Sergeant first class was shooting. And the lieutenant colonel goes, well, did you take everything into account, like the Coriolis effect? And my two buddies, I could feel their eyes go right to me, right? And they were preparing for the onslaught. You know, and I just didn't say anything.
Huh? Oh, you coward, you. Yeah, you're a coward, man.
So, what did you want me to do there?
Say that Coriolis is bunk, and that this is in the manual.
Coriolis is bunk. So Coriolis is bunk in the manual. That's what you wanted me to say?
But something like that. I mean, you always said that it could be the death of Kennedy could be written in the freaking manual of the Americans, and you wouldn't find it, right?
Yeah. First of all, you're assuming that they got it from the manual, so they didn't. That's number one. Number two, you think I'm going to get into it right then? the Coriolis effect is one of those arguments that I like to stay away from because it gets too confusing for people.
Oh,
Now-
come on. You, if one can explain it, it's you.
Yeah,
I'm sort of disappointed.
it
I think
wasn't.
that most of us here in Flat Earth Land are more like up in arms than you are.
Listen, there's a time and a place for everything.
Yeah. And it's now and then when certain things are being like offered, like put there, right?
If the guy said it to QE, that'd be different. But because he didn't say it to QE, I understand QE's response, which was no response to it. Don't take the bait, even though he's not being baited.
Yeah, Jake, did you hear what you said?
You guys are a couple of pussies. Sorry that I say so. I went up to guys, and of course I know they would. I am not good with the arguments. I'm not in depth with them all, and I don't have the citations on me right there and then. But QE knows them by heart. He could have slammed the guy with his own words, and he doesn't do it because he wants to have a nice day on the shooting range.
Yeah, well, he's there to do that. That's what QE's there to do.
And he says, "What are you going to do about it, flat earthers?" Like,
yeah,
what
but
the hell?
hang on.
And he's not doing it.
I
am
the
so much
situation.
disappointed, Brian. Also by you.
I find the situation. I might do the same, or if I see a uniform, if I hang on, let me finish, Betty. If I see a uniform, then I am likely to maybe say something. But I understand why QE didn't. If I was standing there, this guy said it, I see a uniform, I'm likely to say,
Brian,
hang on, you're not letting me finish, Betty.
That are braver than you guys.
Betty!
He's not letting me say it. Okay, relax a
You're
moment.
running over my words because you don't want to be called out for being a pussy.
No, I'm trying to explain it to you. I'm trying to explain it.
Yeah,
to
you can explain to me that you're
I'm
pussy.
trying to let me explain what I would do if I did say something.
Pussy.
Right?
I know it already.
Hang on. If I did say something, I wouldn't ask.
And then they
Hang
come
on.
to you to say something, and you don't respond. Crying out loud.
But the person's not talking to me. They're a stranger. I don't know.
But
for
there's
number one,
there's
right?
something
Hang
out
on,
there.
please, hang on. So if I'm going to say something, if I was going to address that if I was standing where QE was with a bow in my hand, and I have this person here in uniform, who is obviously a military person, making this statement, then I wouldn't get into the Coriolis effect with them. I'd ask them to prove Earth rotation. If I'm going to ask him anything, I say, well, that would require the Earth to be rotating. So where is your evidence for that? And that's where he'd have to go to then. And then he'd have to go into telling me about how the stars are stationary and we're rotating. And then he's already after defining the Coriolis effect
either
himself.
my computer or Discord was like effing up conveniently.
What I would say to the guy, right, I understand why QE said nothing. Because there could be a time when I just say nothing. So I couldn't be bothered dealing with it. Right? I'm doing something else. Right? But the point is that if I was going to say anything, I would say to him, you do realise that would require the Earth to be rotating, don't you? And then he'd have to come up with proof for Earth rotation. And what's his proof? He's going to start telling me about how the stars are stationary and how we're rotating. And at that point, he has self-defined the Coriolis effect. Right? And then I can get into it with him if I choose to do that. Or I might choose to just stand there and just wait for my chance to shoot the ball. Because what's the point in arguing? What's his name? That famous Prime Minister in Britain in World War II. What was his name? The guy who was Prime Minister of Britain during World War II. The heavy guy. What was the guy's name, Betty?
Churchill.
Churchill. Churchill said, if you react to every dog that barks at you, you'll get nowhere. It's true. You have to just know when to just ignore
it. He's not messing around with you, Betty. He's bringing out Churchill on your ass.
Churchill? I just heard something about Churchill. He was a coward, man. A drunk and a coward. So, wait a minute. I just went out of Discord because there was some squirrel up. I didn't hear most of what Brian said.
Convenient.
So that was sort of past me because the whole thing, well, maybe Discord was not agreeing with me either. I'm sorry, Brian. I don't sort of heard what you said, but still, I think if you have sort of an entrance into going into someone's belief system on certain things. You could easily go there. It's sort of basically an invitation to show your belief and show your faith.
But I don't have a belief, you see. I know the other person has
But
a
you have
belief.
faith in the flat
And it's a
earth,
random
right?
stranger. It's a random stranger that if I'm going to get, it's not something that's
All the
organized. It's
people
something
of the universities
that's being
that you want to get to
communicated.
come to you.
Yeah, but that's a different situation.
No,
That's
it's not.
something that's being communicated and agreed upon. He hasn't agreed to have a debate with somebody at a shooting range on the
That doesn't
Coriolis
matter.
effect.
You can still give your own opinion or your own facts.
I could do, but I already said that. I said the first thing I would do is I would say to him, you do require that your claim, you do understand that your claim has just, your claim requires Earth to be rotating, don't you? And then he'd have to prove Earth rotation. And what would he have to go to for that? The stars. And he'd self-define the Coriolis effect. Then I can get into it with him if I choose to do that. Or I might choose to do exactly what QE did, which is just wait for my chance to shoot me bow. Because that's what I'm there to do. I'm not there to have, there's enough flat earth stuff, globe stuff goes on in my life as is. I don't need to do it all the time with random strangers.
Excuse, I get it.
All
right.
I'm sorry I brought it up, but it spurned the P word multiple times, Betty.
P word? Yeah, the puss.
Yeah.
Yeah, puss and boots and puss, whatever.
Just like I said, there's a time and a place for everything, and I just
Yeah,
felt
yeah. But except for when you're in real life, real time, there and then, and instead of behind a computer being a keyboard warrior.
it wasn't conducive.
Yeah.
I made a call on it relatively quickly, but the funny thing is that the 4 eyes that were on me immediately.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, the guys that were with me, it just wasn't, because like I said, the two guys, they were involved in trying to zero their crossbows, and everything was flying. It just wasn't to stop it and go into it. It just it didn't
The
feel
thing
right.
is, you could just make a joke and just leave it at that. I mean,
I could have
I do
now.
that often. I do that often, by the way.
Thank you. I've known to do that, and maybe I could have, but I let it go.
Yeah, you could have easily said, "Well, that's not in the manual, sir."
I could have done. Yeah, see, that would have spawned. Yeah.
Yes, you're ex-military. You can't be on report.
Oh, that wouldn't stop me anyway.
No, well, there you go. But it's something else stopped you, huh?
Yeah, it was just.
Yeah.
It would have been a little cringe, I think.
Yeah, you're a little puss.
Or socially awkward, possibly. You have to really dedicate yourself to it if you're going to do it. You have to accept all that. It's like, okay, I'm going to cause a scene here, but it's going to be what it's going to be. And that's what you have to accept. And you're with other people and you're bringing attention onto them. And is there any need for it? What's it going to change at that point? Maybe nothing.
Perhaps if he wasn't. Perhaps if he wasn't I didn't know the guy or his friend. Perhaps if they weren't complete strangers, then it would have been better. But we had just met these people, like, I don't know, 5 minutes ago. And
how many times do you suppose you will see them?
Yeah, probably not again.
Again. So there you go. You could have planted the seed and never seen these people. They would have think, "Oh, good guy, what a ridiculous guy that was." They would have sort of thought, "Okay," and maybe later on they might have thought, "Okay, that's what that guy said there on the origin thing. And let's look into this." You know, that's the planting of the seed thing.
Well, Betty, let me throw this at you then. During the whole 3 years of the lockdown, there was many people that didn't agree with it, right? And there was people that did agree with it and went along with it. Now, how many times in public did that come up? And if you were someone who didn't agree with it, in public with strangers, in shops and different things, how many times was there references to that thing as someone agreeing with the thing? And if you were someone who didn't agree with it, how many opportunities was there to address that you didn't take? Because there was many times I didn't take the opportunity to address it. And if it was addressed directly to me, I'd address it. But if it was said in public and it's not said to me, then I didn't go jumping on it. So how many times did that happen during that time? Right? You know what I mean? If you didn't agree with that, how many times did you hear someone mentioning something in public and you didn't say anything about it? Whether it be within the circle of people you're with or in a public place like a shop. It's like you didn't jump on it because it was someone you don't know, they don't know you, even though they were wrong and you feel they're wrong, you didn't jump on it. So it's the same thing. There's a time and a place.
I don't really agree with all that you say. I understand the idea of it, but the thing that QE sort of said was there was Coriolis stuff, and that was sort of mentioned to the group, right, where QE was part of, as I get it, right. So he could have easily gone into it. If it's just in a shop and somebody says it and not to you or you're not to the group that you are in, you could easily discard it. I wouldn't go to a different group or to a different person to just do this, right? But if I was in a workplace, for example, and people would sort of say something, and then I would just throw something at them.
There's times I said stuff to people in public, right? But the timing was correct. And there was many times where I heard someone say something, they didn't say it to me. If they said it to me, that's different. But if they're saying it to someone else and I don't know them, I didn't jump on it because I didn't want to have that public scene. I'm there to buy bread and milk, or I'm there to do whatever I'm doing in whatever place I'm in, or I'm with people. You know what I mean? You have to take into account QE is also there with his friends, and they're not involved in this arena, and they want to be there while this whole thing takes place.
So what do
you know what I mean? With this military guy.
So we are
Sorry?
not friends here, and still he goes after us like in a heartbeat. If you
I'm
and
friends
I
with
are
you.
doing the wrong
Are you
thing,
not my friend?
go at us, right? But we are friends too.
Yeah, but this is different. We're all
No,
like I
then
mean
it's
we're all on the same hymn sheet here. Like,
Yeah, but still, then again, we are still friends. Where is the courtesy to us?
what do you mean? Like, I mean, this is the arena we're in. Like, you can't. I don't see your point.
Yeah, well, that's the point. Nobody sees the point. I'm thinking there's a lot of people to evangelize to, and we are leaving opportunities. That's my point.
But what about
And
if QE got barred from
I
the?
think, wait a minute. And I'm thinking that the people that have the most capacity to do this are the ones that are most silent outside.
No, I think I don't see.
But
Like,
that's
I don't see
opinion,
why.
right? We can't prove this, but this is my opinion.
Well, in the example QE gave, he could have gone either way, and I don't understand what decision he would make either way. I totally get it if he decided to go and say something or not say it. It's in the moment. Someone you don't know, and it's like, oh, do we want to go into all this now? I just want to shoot the bow. Maybe he just wanted to shoot the bow. It's like, I'd rather just put on the movie. You know what I mean? Whatever. Do you know what I mean?
He shoots
There's
arrows,
nice
by the way.
Yeah, well, sorry, shoot with the bow. Yeah, shoot with the bow. You know what I mean? Though?
Question for the panel: if he was wearing a Space Force uniform, would that have changed the circumstances?
That may have changed it, all right? Space Force. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Why?
He's in a Space Force uniform, but he's going to have to answer.
Too funny. Oh my goodness gracious.
Yeah, it just wasn't. It just didn't feel right. I made a call.
I understand, John. I don't scold you in that sense.
Yeah,
but
I know.
You understand where I'm coming from, right?
Yes.
I mean, it's not to be like belligerent or. The thing is, I sort of relish the times that I say, could say something to these people that are so indoctrinated and just plant seeds. And I use humor a lot, and I'm saying, okay, are you really sure that you can have a vacuum next to a non-vacuum without a barrier? How do you breathe? We have here pressure, air pressure here. Like how does that go, right?
Yep.
Something like that. How can you move around in space without thrusters to right? That sort of stuff. That people thinking, and sometimes they will laugh. And okay, I'm the point of ridicule. Well, I don't care. I really don't care. You know. Then they find me ridiculous or stupid. I know the truth, right? Sometimes you need to be able to be ridiculed, and I think that the first years of flat Earth, it was all about that. You know, we're ridiculed left and right, and we were stupid and did that and the other, I didn't care because I knew that this was something
Yeah.
that the more they ridicule, the more then you know it's true.
But it has to be constructive. There's no point in continually ending up in a position of being ridiculed. Like I've been down that road. I've been ridiculed. Like I don't mean online. Like everyone's been ridiculed online. I thought in real life by people, relatives, and people I know. Yeah, and I've been down that, and there's people who don't want to talk to me ever again, and different things like that, and that's fine. But the point is that it has to be constructive, and you have to make that decision at the time. Like, do I just want to do what I'm doing, or am I willing to? Am I willing to sacrifice all that and address this person? Do you know what I mean? At that time,
Yeah, but
you know, it's not an agreed upon situation, or sorry.
Sometimes you don't meet these people anymore, right? So who cares?
Yeah, but still, it's not about that. It's that they're not going to. People aren't going to remember. People are going to remember the flat earther. They're not going to remember the other person as much. So when you're going against the social norm, they're going to remember the person that goes against the social norm. So that guy was saying Coriolis effect, right? Obviously not knowing what he's talking about. I don't care what uniform he has on. And he's saying this, and people aren't going to remember him. The story is going to be there's this flat earther guy, right? And then what's going to be is eventually people who are going to this shooting range, eventually QE is going to get pointed out by people privately. There's that guy over there. He was that fella I was telling you about. Remember that fella called the fella that caused that big argument there about 2 weeks ago. This is where it ends up at. And
then what?
QE, but then he's not able to just go to the shooting range and not have a bad reputation.
Of course he can. He told the other guys. They know.
Yeah, you're
but
thinking.
they're his friends.
You guys are thinking about this too much. I didn't even think about that.
That's it. There you go.
You guys going too.
He told his other guys already that he is a flat earther. So
yeah, but they're my buddies.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's different. They're my buddies. The other two were complete strangers.
Yeah, but you were sort of conservative with your buddies at the first place too.
In the beginning I was, yes.
Yeah.
That's the whole point. So those strangers being in the beginning, I'm gonna.
Yeah, and listen, I told my family that I was a flat earther, but we don't talk about that anymore. I just I planted seeds with them, and I'm not going to every freaking time, right? But there are times and places where sometimes you sit and we were watching a documentary and something comes up with that, and I'm thinking that's impossible. I can't shut my mouth. You know?
Yeah, right.
I have to say that's impossible.
Yeah,
Right?
I do it at home here.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you need sometimes to say something, but we don't talk
I agree.
about it much, and then they might find me foolish or stupid or whatever, and my brother-in-law sometimes wants to give it a shot, but it doesn't sort of make me like go back to the BallTARD. That's for sure. I mean, and I had him with one thing, and I showed him something, and he said, "Oh yeah, that's weird." Okay, right, and then he had to admit that it was weird, right? And it's these little like tiny bits, but there's people that want to investigate, and that people say, okay, how can you investigate things from the internet? That's ridiculous. But how do they get the information, right? I mean, it's the same thing. They don't understand that thing. Searching things in the internet, that it's any way different as being it presented to you. it's so much different because when you research it yourself, you can go after it and sort of contemplate on stuff, and when it's just presented to you like in the classrooms and on television, you just take it by heart. And they knew this. They knew that the programming on the television would work, right? And sometimes it's good to just say, that's ridiculous. That can't happen. Every time that they show a CGI, for example, oh, they are going to the moon, and they show a little CGI. Yeah, that's fake. Who is the camera behind that satellite? Right? And just to, yeah, I don't know. I just want to still incite people to just think.
Well,
It
what
doesn't
I
stop
do,
me.
Betty.
And yeah, maybe I don't have that many friends. Maybe that helps, or doesn't. I don't
Yeah,
know.
but Betty, what I understand that, but what I do is I take topics that are world, let's say, topics in the news and other topics, and I use the logic that I use within this arena, and I point out to people problems within these other topics. And people then are more likely to listen then when I say something is not right or something is false to do with the nature of our reality. If they're showing something on TV and I say something that, if I say that can't happen or that's wrong, immediately people don't think, oh, here we go again. They think, well, he must have a reason, as he's proven to be able to use logic. So you have to prove to people that you can use logic first. You know what I mean? And that you're able to use it in such a way where it's constructive. And then people around you will listen to you. Whereas if you just go against things, I found what was happening is people just didn't want to hear it. You just end up being somebody, they want to just label you or see you as just someone with ideas or a conspiracy theorist or some nonsense like that. Whereas when you take a topic that's in the news and you use that same logic that you use in this arena to pull apart the narrative that topic is, then people can see, well, this person has proven that that they're using logic. So I don't see, they must have a point when they say this other thing is not correct. And I found people listen to me more, people around me listen to me more because I do it that way,
Yeah.
as opposed to,
Everybody has their sort of methods, right? What works for some people. Everybody has a different entrance of their own psyche, also, But it is a thing of the heart, right? It has nothing to do sometimes with arguments. It's just a belief system that they have, and it has a foundation that it's built on sand. So when they feel the sand moving, they are trying to go on higher places. That's basically how people are, and we also might have these blind spots ourselves, right?
I don't think so. I think
You don't think that you have a blind spot?
no, not. I don't think so. I think I
Not
don't
on
think
flat Earth, I mean on
don't
other
think.
topics as well.
I think that you scrutinize yourself. You scrutinize yourself. As soon as you start wanting to argue something and having an emotional attachment to something, a topic or something, a point someone makes, I find myself, I go, hang on a minute, why am I arguing this? What's the driving force here? Is it facts? Is it truth? Or is it I have an emotional need for whatever? And you know what I mean? I find that over time you scrutinize yourself more and more, so you don't end up with those same blind spots. You're not infallible, I suppose, to say that. You're not
That's what I
infallible,
mean.
but
Blind spots.
you know,
Everybody has blind spots. Because you
yeah,
don't
but
know them, that's why you have blind spots. I mean, the more you know, the more questions you have, basically, because there's so much more to know. It's never ending.
well, the more you find out that you know very little.
Yeah,
That's the problem with
that's what I
information,
mean.
isn't
I
it?
mean, you talk to people on different topics, and you see that everybody has a sort of a that you cross a line, and that's somewhere that they can't go. I that's at least that's my experience. I mean, yeah. We know, luckily, there's none. Even if I would be
Yeah.
downloaded from God, everything that there is to know, I would be called a lunatic, I think, because they will never accept it, right? So
Well,
That's also a thing, right?
Well, I have spiritual beliefs, let's just say, right? And I know that I have a certain. I have to accept that I do have a certain emotional attachment to them, but I have to also accept that they are beliefs, and I don't know this. I believe this, or it makes sense to me. It feels right. Things like that. Whereas when it comes to something like a measurement or how something works that I've researched, you know what I mean? A topic with a part of one of the subtopic within this arena, I can know things there. Whereas in something else, let's say if it's a belief about let's say I believe that this girl likes me, right? I don't know it. So if there's some information that goes against her liking me, it might be difficult to take, but I have to, even though I might have an emotional attachment to her liking me, I have to accept that maybe she doesn't. Maybe I only have a belief about that. So it's about separating up what you actually know and can prove and what you can only believe until you can know it. You know what I mean? It's kind of like that. It's like you have to, and they're the blind spots. Your beliefs are the blind spots. That's what will get you. What you believe in.
Yeah,
Regardless of what it is. That's what will get you.
Your convictions, right?
It's personal beliefs, and it's the problem with personal beliefs is you end up arguing for something that, and often the time your belief is arguing against, it can often happen against someone else's belief. So it's two beliefs arguing, and it's easier not to get into that argument and just accept I have a belief about this, and if I can't argue the point because I just believe it, you know, that kind of way, as opposed to having an argument that you know there's not going to be no good ending to. There'll be no constructive ending. At the end, you'll still only have the same belief as you did have, because you don't have any more knowledge at present than would warrant a belief, or more than a belief, if you know what I mean. So there are the blind spots. Everyone's got those blind spots.
Belief, Brian. I just remember Slick James back in the day. Do you remember QE?
Yep.
Slick James.
Yeah, I remember Slick James.
Claimed that he didn't have any beliefs. Oh my God. And
I don't either.
Huh?
I don't either.
You don't. Come on, the way he sort of argued that. Remember that?
Yeah, I did. I didn't have a problem with it. Everyone else made fun of it because I thought about it. I said, you know what? I really don't have any beliefs either.
Unbelievable. So you basically now siding
It didn't bother me either. I had never had a problem with that, what he said. Sorry, Betty.
Did you hear what she said? She says, unbelievable.
Yes. For me, that's unbelievable. Yeah. Because I know that you had a big beef with him back in the day. And now
Not with that.
It's all in a bag of chips. Now you're like a Slick James believer.
Not with that. That wasn't the issue with him. The issue with him was he was a numpty in other areas, and then he started making derogatory comments to females. So wasn't that specific thing that he said. That I never had an issue with that.
Really?
Yeah, I don't have a single belief.
You believe that?
That would be contradictory if I said that.
Yes, exactly. That's my point.
No, I know that, Betty.
How do you know that?
Knowledge.
How do you know that you don't have belief?
Knowledge.
So, do you believe in the power of prayer?
That's not a belief. It either is true or not true.
Do you believe in the power of prayer?
No, I have no beliefs in that area.
Okay, so then you know that it's true, or you don't know that it's true?
I know that it's true. Hey, Flatsy!
Superchat.
Superchat.
Oh, yeah, 5 angels at QE and Brian. The likes of Phil Bell are paid shills to keep you on YouTube. Last thing they want for you to is reach the TikTok crowd.
I don't know about paid shows. You'd have to be able to prove it. I know they're fundamentally retarded. The TikTok crowd. We were hearing some things about the TikTok crowd through Elijah, but I haven't seen Elijah. Where's Elijah been? Anyone?
Busy making money, I take it. He's been working on financial things.
Okay. And yeah, Betty, where's Neil been?
I have no idea. Did you offend him?
No.
Well, that's a change.
What? Of him missing or me offending people?
I need that for you to decide.
Do you believe it or do you know it?
I have no idea. But you know that this is going to get in my mind, right? I will catch you on this one.
Yeah, I know you got it, and you got no hope.
I have a lot of it.
A lot of it.
Could I just say something about that super chat?
Yes.
Yes, the people we deal with in this arena are there, whether they intentionally do it or not. They are there or are doing the act of keeping us in this arena, going around in a circle. But it's not to stop, whether it's intentional or not, it's not to stop us going to TikTok. It's to stop us going on the nightly news. Because TikTok is still just a platform. Regardless of how big it is, it's not the mainstream. That's the difference. It's not a university. It's not nightly news. It's not an interview on a television program. You know what I mean? Of note. That's the difference. That's what we're being stopped from. Now, you know what I mean? That's where I'm aiming for. Maybe not for me. Maybe I might never make it there. But for people in this arena to take the information and the knowledge that we do have and can prove, and to bring it to those sources, to those sources to headhunt us, seek us out. Because we go to TikTok, it's just, I've seen what goes on TikTok. And so it is improving, but most of it is still just feast and nonsense. It's still not up to the same standard as what we have on YouTube, believe it or not. It's not up to that standard yet.
TikTok is like fast, right? It's like little clips, like fast, and you need to make your point quick, otherwise it doesn't come through. And also mainstream will always be in hands of the powers that ought not be, and if they are in control, they will frame the heck out of you, because then you will be ridiculed. They need Flat Earth to ridicule all other people. You know that they're using it also. Right? Also, the politicians use it. I'm not a flat earther, right? Ha 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 ha, like that. I mean, it's still used. So the whole mainstream is not going to cut it. There needs to be a sort of a massive, tilting of the balances before it to be becoming mainstream and accepted.
It's playing for time. It's going to take time. I'm not expecting it to happen next week, but I know that by this time next week, there'll be after being a small little bit of shift and change in our favor. Tiny amount, but those tiny amounts build up. Tent Man said, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. You have to give it time, chip away at it, leave it happen. It will happen. It's just going to take time. Like, I'm talking a decade, maybe a bit less, maybe a bit more. But, there's going to be a big difference in 1 decade from where we are right now today. Because if you go back, sorry?
Maybe we need a martyr, right? In the sense of that Galilee, was it the Galilee that was sort of convinced the earth was a ball and he died for it? Maybe we need a martyr as well.
I don't know, no martyrs are much good. Well,
you know
what I mean? They normally die, you know what I mean? What did all they do is provoke sympathy, you know what I mean? But, well, I mean, not that kind of martyr anyway, because that doesn't, well, he died for nothing then, didn't he? If he really existed and that's true, he died for absolutely nothing.
For him it worked. Or for the powers that be, that worked. They didn't care about a martyr, but it has still happened.
Yeah. Switch, small little topic change, just briefly. just something you said to Kiwi a few minutes ago, Betty, and I just didn't get a chance to comment on. You said to Kiwi, you asked him a question, does he believe in the power of prayer? Well, that's a malformed question, because it's not a belief situation. Prayer does have power, right? You're putting intention into something. That means you're putting power into it. And someone can feel vilified by prayer. So prayer does have power. So you don't have to believe whether prayer has power or not. The belief might be people could say the belief is who you're praying to, but the prayer itself has power. So that doesn't need to be believed. I'm not saying you need to be told that. I just want to say that.
Yeah. Thanks for that.
She's just misguided, that's all. All right, Betty, it's time to take us home.
Yeah, I'm already home. You do it yourself.
Jeez, oh man. MC? What the hell is going on?
MC what?
MC, the master of ceremonies. Oh, yeah, Flatsy.
Superchat.
Superchat.
What's up, guys? What's up?
Huh? Who's that?
Hey, D-Rose.
Brian, correct. But TikTok has a young and unaware crowd. It is an encyclopedia for Gen Z.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It is. And I'm not saying that it would be pointless going there. It's kind of more, you have to leave it mature a little bit. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know much about TikTok. I'm not on it, so I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
Well,
but that's not the end goal. That's not the end goal. Sorry.
The thing with TikTok is that if you install it, it's sort of like a spyware, like sort of platform thing, and it has its tentacles into your stuff. That's sort of why I think you should not be there, basically. But people that want to be there, yeah, I think you could really sort of have these random videos coming up, and I'm seeing them from time to time on NASA, for example, and the astronauts and that sort of stuff. But yeah, not too much as of now.
But Betty, the problem is if I was to go over towards TikTok, I'd spend more time correcting flat earthers than I would dealing with the ballers. So I just become unpopular with flat earthers over there immediately.
Well, the thing is, you don't need. There's no discussion. It's just make a TikTok video and that's it. And when you have a channel, and you have many of them, people want to maybe sort of make a subscription on your channel and see these little like clip bits, just short ones, you know. Maybe it's better.
Yeah, but you're going to be the problem is you're sorry, I stepped on you.
It's just a platform. It's just fast. You have people that they're like the attention span of a goldfish, and sometimes I'm that too. I mean, I kind of like TikTok in the sense that what's next? Right?
But they allow longer videos now. I think they're allowing more longer videos and live streams and stuff. Yeah.
But if you're not subscribed and just like, yeah, it's sort of like fast ones usually.
Yeah, but the thing about this is that as I said, I'm going to be more likely to want to address the flat earthers over that, and it won't be long before I become unpopular at that point. Do you know what I mean? They need to kind of learn on their own, maybe. You know what I mean? It's all like YouTube is better than TikTok, but it's still not good. A lot of flat earthers on YouTube putting out rubbish and things that are wrong and making claims that are wrong, and it's just like, and even when you tell them, they kind of go, okay, thanks. But then they continue on putting out rubbish. You know what I mean? It just becomes frustrating. Do I want the frustration of TikTok? I don't think I do. It's not my end goal, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I get you. I understand why people don't want to go there. Yeah.
Like I said before, those flat earthers are the ones that give life preservers and resuscitate the anti-flat earthers and the BallTARDs to keep sustaining their bullshit rhetoric back and forth.
Yes. That's the problem. That's the problem, D-Rose. You're going to be trying to teach them to not resuscitate the opposition. Do you know what I mean? And they don't want to hear about it. They keep on wanting getting the defibrillator out. You know what I mean? The globe defibrillator. And it's going, oh, what am I at?
Yeah. They go on about, you're being pedantic. You know what I mean. I mean, come on, you know, you get the general gift of what I'm saying. No. That's what globetards and anti-flat earthers pick upon. They pick upon those little erroneous claims with flaws and battered armor, whatever flawed armor, if you will. You know what I'm saying?
Well, what happens then is they end up disliking you, and they start taking the opposition know they're disliking you. The opposition start getting with them, siding with them against you, and then they're friends with the opposition. Do you know what I mean? And the opposition are laughing at them, and they're laughing at you because you know that the opposition knew what they were doing, and you know what I mean. We have it. We have, yeah, exactly.
All right, guys, we're gonna wrap it up. Wrap it up.
Thank you, great show.
Yep. So, say bye, Betty.
Yep.
Yep. Say bye, Betty.
Bye.
All right, guys. Hope you got a lot out of the show. The Slope of Dope, like I said, it's DEFCON 1 for the BallTARDs. I mean, lay it to them. It's an easy argument. You can master it within minutes. It's geometrically sound. There's no way out. Period. BallBusters this Saturday. Betty brought up a good point about bringing out the fallacy presentation again. It's a good possibility. Haven't made my mind up, but it'll be something interesting as usual. So stay tuned. Saturday, BallBusters at the usual time, and the usual time is the times have just changed. So that's the usual time. 2 p.m. U.S. Central, and I think 8 p.m. UK for BallBusters this Saturday. So hang in there. Keep your powder dry. QE. Out.
Naturally occurring phenomena is electrostatics.
So the naturally occurring phenomena, i.e. the dependent variable, is electrostatics. Yeah? Everyone got that? 35 seconds later.
So what we're going to do is we're going to take an object and we're going to manipulate that independent variable of electrostatics. That independent variable of electrostatics. Naturally occurring phenomena is electrostatics. That independent variable of electrostatics.
What's a wave then?
Okay, a wave is just a type of movement. So a wave is a verb. It's not what something is.
So wind is also a verb?
So this is the mind-numbing level we're at, folks. We're down here at second grade retardville with an ass clown who doesn't know what nouns and verbs are. From Merriam-Webster, wave, noun. A disturbance or variation that transfers energy progressively from point to point in a medium that may take the form of an elastic deformation or of a variation of pressure, electric or magnetic intensity, electric potential, or temperature. You're a
dumbass!
Actually, you can't have light without electricity.
What the hell did you just say?
Actually, you can't have light without electricity. Actually, you can't have light without electricity.
Really? You ever hear of glow sticks? How about fire?
You dumbass.
Yeah, there is no speed of light.
Hence why we have things go 3 times the speed of light.
Yeah, there is no speed of light.
Hence why we have things go 3 times the speed of light.
Yeah, there is no speed of light.
You're an intellectual dumbass.
Yeah.
Or they will say things like, dark matter 100% exists. We know for a fact that dark matter has to exist, but we don't know what it is. So, how could you know it exists?
So I don't agree with people making claims about ether and exactly what it is, and even the name.
So, how could you know it exists?
You hear that, Mr. Anderson? That is the sound of inevitability.
Get lost, dummy.